All right, welcome back, adventurers. We're here for a very special adventure today. We've got friends joining us from all around the world, including our very special dungeon master for this evening. Now, I want to take a moment to let you all know that today's broadcast is sponsored by Hero Forge, and that means that you'll be having a chance to win a Hero Forge gift code good for $35. That can get you many of your own and various types of materials. It can also allow you to download several STL files. So if you're not familiar with Hero Forge, it's a place where you can create your very own miniatures for download or print from dozens of fantasy races, thousands of items. So you can customize your perfect character. But without further ado, I would like to introduce, for those of you who aren't up at 4 o'clock in the morning on Thursdays, our good dungeon master for today, DeadAussieGamer. Michael, are you there?
Yes, I am. G'day, guys, and welcome. My name is Michael, and I am the DeadAussieGamer, and we are here with an awesome crew of amazingly animated role players for Khaos in the Kraglands. Thank you so much for that introduction. And Hero Forge absolutely sounds amazing. The only thing I regret is that we can't get the giveaway. Can we get the giveaway, actually? You just put that out there.
No. I'm participating.
Oh,
unacceptable.
Worth a shot. Oh, anyway, still something very cool for you guys in the audience to come and enjoy. Now, going through our cast of amazingly animated characters, as you can see next to us, we'll give them a chance to introduce themselves and the characters that they will be playing for today's adventure, starting, of course, with none other than Aiden. G'day, Aiden.
Hey guys, my name is Aiden, and I will be playing Louis, the gnome barbarian.
Excellent. And give us Louis' tale. What's Louis' deal? What's Louis' story?
Louis is a very small, very buff gnome that it wasn't buff all his life. He was very skinny and very small, actually, until one day a traveling merchant gave him a book called "Your Body is a Temple, so why not chisel it out?" And he started training, and now he is wanting to find adventures like in his books, and in his travels find the person that wrote the book maybe one day. And
very cool. Very cool.
He doesn't know how to read, but he really puts the effort.
He likes the picture books, you know. He sort of does the whole flip book thing, and I get it. I've been there. It's how I got through high school. Okay. Next, of course, to the thick-muscled Louis is the thick-skinned Grung, being played by Zedrin. G'day, Zedrin.
Howdy. How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Tell us today. What are you going to be playing?
I'm playing a swashbuckler Grung named Frederick von Croak specifically, who was not always a Grung. He was cursed and turned into one. It's probably a pseudonym. But he's a little bit eccentric, a little bit self-centered, and has a little bit skewed perspective on the world, but he means well. And he's on his quest to try and find a cure, hopefully in the Kraglands here.
Very cool. All right. Joining us as well from the world of Blaine Simple is none other than Blaine himself. How you doing, Blaine?
Yo, what up? Playing Mallory in this campaign. High Elf Wizard. Let me see. Pretty knowledgeable. Definitely ignorant. Thinks she's better than everybody else. Due to her origins, high elves in this society being really pompous. She has a lot of lore about the world and will probably be helping out the party and figuring out where to go and how things work. Here mostly to make a name for herself and flaunt her power, which she herself still can't control.
Awesome. And, of course, last but certainly not least, along with a very tiny companion, we have none other than Dipper Dog. G'day, Dipper.
Good day. Hello. It's good to be back playing again on Mercs of Mischief channel. On a Saturday this time. Normally I do streaming on Sundays here. And today I'll be playing a little gnome druid called Zelly. Her focus are mainly the love of animals, and her goals are basically going on adventures and finding more animals that are out there. And of course, there are some dangers, so it's best to usually travel with a party. And as a fun little hobby, she would like to make little books and see if people want to read these books to their animal companions. And it's nothing but it's all about animals. So that's her focus. This is an animal-loving little gnome.
Awesome, awesome, absolutely fantastic. All right, guys. So, as we dive into today's session, I'm going to be dropping a little thing that I do on my channel. For those of you who are in the audience and want to influence the game at some point or another, with a donation of $10 to the stream and to, of course, these fine people who are entertaining you today, I will go through this magic deck of plot twists. And then what I will do is I will draw randomly one of these plot twists to instigate as quickly as possible. Our man behind the scenes will then communicate this to me, probably via the software that we're using to broadcast, and I will then try to implement that into the story as quickly as I can. So do be sure to obviously raise or lower the stakes at any given time with one of these donations. Without any further ado, let's get into the game.
All right.
I would like to welcome everyone to the world of Olestria, a land of fantasy and magic. Born from the breast of the gods themselves, the races that were created, such as the elves and the dwarves, were created from the land. Elves and the like were created of magic, halflings of the oceans, and so on. Each of these individuals granted great power. This power was the ability to name, to create beings that could be imbued with the power of the magics within the Akashic record. The power of words in this world are truly phenomenal and are shared with only a limited few. However, there are other creatures that lurk in this world. Monsters born without name, born simply as creatures of anger and destruction. These monsters don't have names. They simply go by what you call them. Orcs, goblins, beasts of the land, and so on. Our tale takes place on the edge of the Kraglands, an area blighted by a constant war between orcs and hobgoblins, constantly bombarded with rock trolls, giant manticore air raids, and more, making the land inhospitable. Very little growing there. But still, in a place where there is desolation and devastation, there is still life. And with that life comes, of course, value. The humans of the Winner's Keep in the Withermore Highlands seek to protect their rich and fertile lands from the raging hordes by building 3 immense walls and waging constant campaigns into the Kraglands to try and keep these enemies at bay. Well, every so often, supplies need to be brought in from the Winner's Keep into the Kraglands so the soldiers may continue fighting. And this is where we find our adventurers. Deep within the holds of Winner's Keep, surrounded by a myriad of heavily armored soldiers in bright and shining armor, 4 rather unusual adventurers find themselves awaiting instruction. The first that we can see is Mallory. Mallory, can you describe your character, please?
Definitely. So Mallory is a high elf. That does not mean she's high at all. Mallory is a pretty young high elf girl. Golden skin. Light reflects off of it much more than it does really anyone else in the party right now. Currently wearing her the uniform that she received from her school of teaching. Well, the school that she goes to learn. nothing else really stands out aside from the gigantic stick of a staff that she wields, constantly holding it in two hands, swinging it around. It looks like she's always building a sweat just by having this thing in her possession. She's not able to wield this thing effectively, and it really shows.
As Mallory turns her gaze around the rather hustling and bustling area, there are a number of large carts filled to the brim with supplies, food, resources, even some weapons and armor. You turn to your long-time companion who has been traveling you for a while. You can see that a lot of these soldiers have never really seen a high elf this far south before, and many of them are casting quite exploratory gazes at you as they carry on their duties.
Gotcha. So are the rest of the party members with me at the moment?
Yes, but for now, you draw your attention to Frederick.
Hi.
She has a horribly pouty expression as she just stares to Frederick, hoping that he's noticed what's going on around them at the moment.
He's noticed, and he has tried to keep his hat, kind of keeping his appearance a little bit veiled. Fortunately, his hat is fairly large, so unless you're looking directly at him, you don't really notice exactly what he is, other than his slightly odd stature. But he has been very nervous, kind of sitting in the cart, trying not to make eye contact with the other soldiers that are there who might start to question him and things like that.
All right, very cool. Meanwhile, however, a little bit more comfortable in this area as both locals to the nearby forest of the Withermore Highlands. Zelly and Lewis, the two of you are on the front of the cart, sitting where the driver would eventually sit, kind of admiring what appears to be four immense and very beautiful steeds that have been not only well groomed, well fed, but it's kind of that impression that you would get if you were to see a person like a mall cop, kind of standing around idle versus like seeing like kind of like an army guy. These four horses are like seeing an army guy for the first time. They're sort of at attention, very disciplined, very, kind of good posture and all that.
Oh, what a majestic creature. Do you see that, Sally?
Why, yes, I do. And I just know that they're well taken care of because you can see how shiny their coats are, and they must be really well fed. Oh, they probably eat better than I do, but that's okay. Animals are important. They need a better food, I think. But I'll tell you what, you definitely don't want to get behind these horses because once we've kicked to the head, that's it. You're gone, I think. Oh.
No, I will kick back. If horse kicks you, you have to kick back. You have to show dominance. Otherwise, the horse drives you, you don't drive horse. It's the rules, right? Also, I named that one Stompies because it keeps stomping all around. Very interesting.
You watch as Louis makes the thinly veiled threat towards the horse. One of the horses, the horse who's named Thunder, as you can read it on the back of his saddle, he turns ever so slightly and squints in Louis' direction as Louis kind of catches this sort of gaze.
I will try to do, I will say, I would win, Thunder, and I will kind of shake my fist in anger. He knows I would win.
You watch as he sort of flicks his tail and turns back into formation, as all of a sudden, marching towards you, is what appears to be a very noble-looking man. He's wearing breastplate. He's got like this kind of a plume in the top of what appears to be a well-form-fitted helmet and chainmail underneath a large mantle. It bears the symbol of Winner's Keep, 3 gates across a blue flag. As he enters, he says, I believe that you are the suppliers, if I'm not mistaken. I am Captain Avery of the Winner's Keep Command.
Fun fact, did you know that horses can't burp?
Hello, Captain.
Mala just holds her hands over her head and looks down.
Who are all of these people?
Yes, well, to fill this in, you have all been acquired, I suppose, in order to run a supply run, as we have recently come into rather an unfortunate series of circumstances upon the wall. We do not have the soldiers to travel into the Kraglands as we once did. Our soldiers out fighting the war are in desperate need of supplies, and so we've had to reach out to the civilian populace in order to try and fulfill our requirements. Now, the pay is, of course, going to be quite substantial, and your safety is, of course, paramount to us. We have provided you with fine, sturdy horses, which will not only be able to escort you through the Kraglands, but also return you from within.
Well, I'm certain that you can find that no one is more capable of doing this task than us, than our entourage here. I can promise you.
This brings me great joy. I am certain that you and your... You see that he's sort of trying his best as he looks over this group of incredibly little people. As this man stands at about maybe like 6 foot-ish. As you fine, upstanding civilians will manage, of course, to face all kinds of adversities and return safely. But once you arrive and make your way to the checkpoint, from there you should be able to return with an armed guard. If there's anything you require, do not hesitate to speak with the quartermaster before heading out. The doors to Winner's Keep shall be opened to allow for your passage outwards, but once you are on the other side, you will not be able to return without that guard. Good luck, and safe travels.
Safe travels to you as well, friend.
Any chance you got any cheese for my rat friend?
As he does so, you watch as this halfling fellow sort of runs up. Oh, hi. Yes, no, sir, Captain, Miss. Hello. This is Barnaby. Barnaby is the quartermaster. He will fulfill any requirements that you have before you leave. Good day. Avery turns and he leaves. All right, so my name's Barnaby. I'm the quartermaster here. We do have some supplies to offer you, but not very much, as mentioned before. I think mentioned. I mean, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I've got enough food and supplies for each of you. I've managed to whip up some of my world-famous Guinness stew, which I've got in buckets. I mean, not literal buckets, but I mean, I've just got a lot of them. And to boot, if you want some cheese, I can definitely get you some cheese and some bread and some water. Is there anything? I mean, I don't know. What exactly do high elves eat? Do you eat like the dew of the universe or something?
Is that supposed to be a compliment or a threat?
No disrespect meant at all, lass. I just never quite fed one before. I
can eat cheese, thank you. In fact, I'd prefer some.
Oh, perfectly fine. Cheese it is.
Yes, one cheese for my rat friend too. I have one too. I do.
No, very well. So cheese. Yeah. Okay. And for you, sir.
Probably this. What else do you have on the menu? I don't suppose you have anything a little bit fancier, do you?
Fancy? Oh, well, let's see. Oh, you watch him sort of look around in his little supply wagon. He's like, well, actually, you know what? This did come in the other day. It's a delicacy from across the sea. Yeah. All right, this is from the Razor Coast here. Now, the Razorfell Coast is notorious for its fine kale cuisine. So I've got here for you this big kale salad. We call it Kaiser's salad. It's pretty much like a Caesar salad, except it's full of grit.
Which
Which
this
apparently
piques my interest.
he sort of puts it in like this small sort of cask almost, and he sort of shakes it up and he says, all right, well, there you go, good enough to please enjoy it.
Excellent. Thank you, Barnaby.
That's right.
Richard, mind if we share that, please?
Oh, I've got one for each of you if you want. It's kind of in a lunchbox type thing. There you go. And, one for you. And
I don't
one-
particularly have
Oh, yeah.
anything I could carry this in.
Well, you got a big wagon there.
Yeah.
So I
And
want to keep
here you go as well. A big wheel of cheese. There you
Hey, that's mine. We can
Yeah.
share, silly.
Let's put Phyllis the rat on the cheese and be like,
Oh boy, how about it, Phyllis?
I will be territorial with the cheese. I will not let the small mouse take over. I will eat the cheese too.
As you go to step to the cheese, the mouth looks at you and goes,
I step back, and the mouse is one for now.
it then takes a small wedge out and then sort of looks at you and sort of is about to hop off the cheese. It's like with this huge chunk in its hand, and then it sort of goes and then jump.
I am intimidated. I do not respond.
That didn't even have to roll. Lose the shaking.
It's a mouse. It can eat you. It's very fast. It's very even smaller than I am. Intimidating.
Oh yes, no,
Goodness.
he's had some bad time with Phyllis before. I mean, Phyllis is from the city, and you gotta be a tough mouse to want to survive. Ain't that right, Phyllis?
Yeah, no, you gotta be tough as nails.
Attaboy, Phyllis, you show them who's the mouse.
Yes. Sally, tell him about the time the mouse beat me in a fight. It did. It actually beat me in a fight. Was not fun. You laugh, but it's not fun.
You share and regale yourselves with stories and tales of Phyllis the Mouse and Louis' epic battle. The wagons begin to roll out from around you. Many of the soldiers have begun as a horn blares, signaling the time to move.
whoa.
Thank you. All right.
Holy smokes. That was good
Seems
voice
to be our
acting.
cue.
That was awesome.
Well, that sounds like we got to go, I think.
Ellie, what got you thinking that?
I don't know, it seems obvious. What did you think?
Just gives you a good shrug.
Giant beast made me think giant beast like dog or horse.
All right. Which of you will be driving the wagon?
I will be. I am very good driver. Better than reader, actually. Because I cannot read, but I can drive.
Very well. Now you may make me either an animal handling or a dexterity check. Either.
I will be doing animal handling.
Please do so. As you
Not very
step into the cart, everyone makes their way, just sort of finding a nice and comfortable seat. Oh, with skill like no other, the horses begin to move, and you begin your adventure. As the cart rattles forward and out of the kind of the large stabled keep area, you step out into the front of a well-worn road. It is made of stone slates that are slabbed that lead towards 3 immense walls that are flanked on either side by this huge craggy mountain. It is cut through this mountain almost like a giant scar and protected by these massive walls. These are the 3 great walls that protect the Withermore Highlands from the monsters beyond. As these signals sound, the first gate opens, allowing passage from the supply train. As they begin to make their way through, the rear gate closes, and then the gate in front of you opens. And like this, you travel through the 3 gates before you find yourselves confronted with the Kraglands. The trees in the Kraglands grow sharp and pointed, stretching up to the sky almost in desperation with bleach-boned bark. The small shrubs grow no higher than Louis' chest. As you can see, this rather dark and foreboding place. Everything that would have ever grown here has been trampled underfoot, and the rather nice smooth road has become dirty and rocky, kicking up brown and orange dust as you begin to make your way through the mountains. The other supply trains begin to make their way, arcing in different directions, as yours follows the coordinates set out to you by Captain Avery. You make your way northeastward, following a pathway that leads you to a large and rocky trail. You begin to make your way down into a nearby ravine. You can see at the bottom there's no sign of any hostiles yet. No sign of the large, gray-skinned, stony orcs, said to have cannibalized their own kind in order to survive here. No sign of the militant hobgoblins and their marching troops that are said to lay waste to armies with endless forces. And the skies clear, except for the buzzards that circle around, hungrily watching. I need everyone.
This is nice.
I need everyone to make me a perception check as we enter this area.
Gotcha. And I will ask, Frederick.
You know, I do have a magical broomstick that's also my wand. Do you want to ride on that instead of being on these horse wagons?
Oh, he's kind of tugging at his shirt collar just because I'd imagine it's kind of warm here and dry. This is the Kraglands, but he's kind of tugging at his shirt collar. I suppose that might be a suitable course of action. We could see up higher and it would be a little bit more comfortable, give people more space on the wagon.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we can even scout ahead if you like, since we have a bit more mobility than everyone else, that is.
Right. Very well. That sounds agreeable.
Didn't
Mallory
understand
lays
the conversation. Did not understand.
Mallory lays her hand out, and the staff becomes horizontal. As she releases her hand, a magical energy begins to glow from the large curled hook on its back. As magic begins to glow and illuminate the top of that staff, it begins to hover on its own as Malady mounts it gracefully as she kind of. How does Mallory ride it? Does she sit side saddle or does she sort of ride it?
Probably like full riding, yeah.
All right.
So
You've got a firm grasp on it. Frederick, how do you ride this the broomstick wand staff thing?
Probably fairly normally, except because he's got the whole frog hand thing going on, he's able to grip it a little bit more tightly.
Yep, very well. And where would you like to fly in relation to the wagon?
Probably 30 feet ahead, just to get a good front-facing scouting going.
Okay. Very well. So, flying 30 foot ahead, you begin to kind of act as a scouting party, keeping ahead as both Louis and Zelly are on the wagon making their way down the ravine. Louis, Zelly, what are you talking about as you travel?
Oh boy.
Animals. They can't read either, right? They are not like readers.
Well, I mean, I haven't met one yet, but I would like to, have a benefit of a doubt that there might be an animal that can read, or you can train one to read. I mean, I recognize things.
So they can't. They can't read.
Well, at the moment, I don't know. I haven't met all the animals in the world to say that they can't, so...
And I look at her mouse and I smile. Very, very, very smiley face, like, told you so. And I'm like, so I'm better than your mouse then, because I can interpret the little scribbles in the book.
Gee willikers. We're just gonna have at it with you later. You better watch what you say in front of him.
Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, he can still beat me up.
All right. As you begin to make your way through, Zelly and Louis, you both start to feel the ground beneath you shake. As it does, some of the rocks from nearby.
Oh no.
Watch out!
Watch out, little girl and little boy! And I scream at them.
Louis, you'll need to make a animal handling check. Mallory, as the person who is currently flying, you'll need to make a acrobatics check.
Oh no!
Gotcha.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Let's not die here. Not yet.
Not yet.
Acrobatics.
Oh no!
Oh, that's horrible.
Great start, team.
Oh yeah,
Great.
yeah.
We're just
All right.
warming
Like I
up,
said, it's
everyone.
destiny that we die.
Yeah.
So as the wagon slowly makes its way along a rather precarious edge, all of a sudden the back tire slips and begins to sort of fall as rocks land nearby. You can watch as they basically come crashing down.
Oh no.
And startle, well, not startle the horses, but they cause them to dodge. And as they do, kick the back end of the wagon out. Mallory, as you are sort of flying ahead, which if you are flying pretty good ahead, it puts you about here. One large boulder threatens to crush both you and Frederick as it makes its way downwards. Now, you guys do have a action to do something before catastrophe hits.
Okay.
Let's roll initiative just so that we can see what order everyone acts in. Zelly, you are up first.
Initiative.
Okay, it's a 17, sir.
Oh, no. Okay, sorry. I should probably point out, for those of you playing at home, we are actually using Fantasy Grounds. Fantasy Grounds is, of course, a wonderful virtual tabletop, which automatically rolls initiative when I call for it.
Oh.
But we'll go with what everyone has rolled because it
Oh,
will also
definitely.
adjust to that.
Forgot about that, yeah.
Forgot about that. That's inconvenient.
It's fine. I'm happy for you guys to roll your own initiative if you guys would like. Mallory, you're up first.
All right. How heavy would you say this rock seems?
I feel like there's an ex-wife joke in there, but I'm gonna skip it. Couple ton.
Oh my gosh. So I'm not too sure I can just move it, especially how it's coming at us now. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. I would say I have the Gust of Wind spell. Would I be able to blast it at the rock to change its trajectory?
I would say that your Gust of Wind would not necessarily be able to move it. However, your character being as intelligent as they are, you are reasonably close to the wall of the cliff, meaning that if you were to blow the wall of the cliff, you might be able to push yourself out of the trajectory.
You are right in that regard. So I'll aim it at the wall and then use the force to blast us backwards.
All right. I will need an acrobatics check from both Frederick and Mallory as you stretch your arm forward. Can you describe the color of your magic or the style of your magic?
Right. So she holds her arm to the back of her staff, just trying to connect with the gem that's on the back of it. Then with her left hand, she holds it out to the wall and quickly shoots out a huge gust of wind straight out of her palm.
Nice.
Acrobatics check then?
Yes, acrobatics from the both of you.
Frederick, I promised you would get through this.
Damn, a 1. Thank God I have expertise.
Don't
Good
die
thing
on
you're
me.
a master of your craft.
See, I told you, I rolled that 1 at the very start, or that nat 20 at the very start, and then...
All right. Well, look. I'd like to point out natural ones are not an automatic failure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as the large gust of wind blows, sadly the force of it is really applied to the front of the staff. So you actually just do a 360-degree turn and don't push yourself out of the way. Frederick, because you've got such a good grip on it, you aren't immediately flung off, and are still clinging on as the rock continues to careen towards you. Zelly, you are on the wagon. You're on the front with Louis, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the back half of it is now dipped downwards. So you are now raised slightly as it's angled, leaning over that edge. The horses are pulling hard, struggling against the weight of the supplies.
Oh boy, we need more weight on this end.
And I'm gonna wild shape into a black bear so there's more weight to try to pull it out.
Genius.
Not bad. All right, make an athletics check as all of a sudden you watch as Zelly transforms. Can you describe your magic, please?
All right. So as I turn into a black bear, I'm gonna just go like do like a last minute speak with animal because I think I have like I think I can speak to some animals. So the horses, I'm gonna be like, don't freak out. You're gonna see something big and fuzzy soon. And without even like telling anything to to Louise, because I was paying attention to the horses, I just suddenly just turned into a black bear in the seat next to him, just kind of sitting there and be like.
Ah!
Well, at least it's not a mouse. I would be so scared if it was another mouse.
I turn and I give him like a big teethy grin, like.
Aww.
All right.
Look at you.
So so there you go. You can kind of see Louis and the bear.
Good thing I'm so small.
It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
That's great.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay. So this very tiny Louis. This huge bear places its weight on the front. Make an athletics check as you try to rebalance the wagon. The horses are, of course, war-trained horses and don't seem to kind of mind too much the giant. Oh no!
I'm not very strong.
As you grab.
It would be
As
using
you
the bear
grab
strength,
onto it.
though.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is the bear strength. Ooh.
Oh yes, please make the bear's athletics check.
Got some power in your corner now.
Let me find out the bear's stats for you real quick.
All right. Sorry.
Oh wait, actually, did we give you the bear stats?
It says module you are attempting to use is not loaded.
Oh, boo.
What you can do is you can drop a bear NPC on top of her portrait, and then she'll have access to that.
Check in the chat. There should be a little button you should be able to push now. Can you
Ooh,
that?
yes, I got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, so I guess I just do strength.
Yes, please.
Okay, and
Click the C.
with the C. Thank you.
Oh, much better. Woo! Oh, there we go. All right. So you lean on the front of the wagon and actually help correct it. Which Louis is now still kind of on the front. You kind of see this look of like oh thank God we're not going over as you're holding onto it. Louis, you need to adjust the cart in order to get it back fully on the path. Or you can do something else if you've got something else in mind.
So Sally and Frederick are still in danger, or are they safe?
Oh, they're super in danger.
Yeah, we're gonna
100%.
die. Help us.
Does Louis know if he throws javelin at rock, would it push it enough?
Once again, throwing a javelin at the rock will probably not change its trajectory at its size and girth. However, throwing a javelin at your allies, however, might cause them to move out of the way.
Would I have a
javelin
with the rope? Would I get to use a javelin with rope to throw so they can grab onto it?
Yeah, you know what? You've spent much of your time in the wilds here in the Withermore Highlands, so you are proficient at spearfishing, which involve you tying a rope to your javelins. After your last spearfishing expedition, you had not properly packed away your supplies, and so yes, you do have a javelin with a rope.
Sounds like Louis not properly packing. Okay, he will grab his javelin and he will throw it to the left of them, and he will be like, grab onto this, little boy and girl, and he will throw. This is happening.
All right. Make your ranged attack. Just throw the ranged attack in chat, just so that we're not throwing it at one of our allies.
Yes, sir. Javelin. Hey!
All right. With a mighty throw, you watch as the javelin flies through the air and actually goes and impales the staff that they are sitting on. Not deeply, mind you, but enough that you've got a good hand on it as you hold.
Yes, and I will pull.
What
So
did
there
you
go.
just throw at my broomstick?
As
You're
you
gonna
continue,
pay
fine,
for
it's
this the second we
good.
get over there.
Wood don't feel pain. It's okay. They're three. Don't feel pain.
all right. You sadly don't have enough actions to pull, but you know who does? Frederick. It is your
All right.
turn.
I'll see that as I'm spinning around, as we're spinning around and stuff, I'm seeing Louis raising up his spear and chucking it at us. And it's like he panics for a moment, and then he sees that it's impaled the staff, and he hears what Louis is saying. So he's gonna quickly reach out and he's gonna try and start pulling on the rope and just give it a hard yank, trying to pull them backwards.
All right.
Go, hang on!
Make an athletics check as you give it one hard yank.
Finally, a good roll.
With a hard yank, you pull yourself out of the way as the stone, and then
Okay.
My attempted bear noise.
crashes over the side of the cliff.
Did my javelin get hurt? Did it get broken?
No, your javelin is perfectly fine.
Oh,
Your
300
allies.
on this broom.
Room, inanimate object, don't matter. You are alive.
You'll be an inanimate object when I'm done with you.
All right. You breathe a sigh of relief as you seem to have survived for the time being. You check the supplies; they're all still there, despite being kind of tipped onto one edge. They're all properly secured, and you didn't lose the wagon. Congratulations! Everyone gains inspiration.
Ooh,
Yo.
Yeah.
Thanks.
awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Inspiration.
It really is
Where
like
do
that, isn't it?
Where do I put the inspiration?
Okay,
There's a little
if you
toggle.
go into your characters, up on the very top
Oh,
next to your name, there's
There it is.
insp-
Inspiration.
There you go. Beautiful. All right. You can consume this at any point in time if you wish to, and I do have an additional rule of you may use it to petition the GM for mercy, though whether you find it will be, well, up to me. So
Well, we better start
Continue,
begging for mercy.
not yet. But soon. All right. Zelly, are you staying as a bear? You can actually fit in the wagon as a bear, given that the other two are now flying.
Yeah, I will crawl into the wagon and I'm a bear.
You watch as this bear crawls into the wagon. With your heightened senses, you actually smell something among the supplies. You actually smell a jar of honey.
Temptation.
You watch as the horses suddenly go, and they begin to trot forward.
Yes. Does Sally eat the honey?
Does Ellie eat the honey?
I eat the honey with my bare hands.
Do I realize Sally is eating the honey?
Roll a perception check.
Okay. Here we go. Important roll. Everyone should have.
I probably noticed that Zelly is now a bear, but I haven't noticed that she transformed into a bear, so I'm like imagining that Louise is about to get killed by a giant brown bear, and I'm perfectly alright with that. Smirking as I fly.
Huh. I didn't know that we had a bear pet with us. I didn't see
Yeah,
that
I
earlier.
didn't either.
Yes,
22.
Where's Zelly? Did that bear eat Zelly?
I think
dear.
her rat turned into
dear.
a bear, actually, and then ate her, probably.
Oh,
You
that would make sense. Wait, would that make sense?
There's a whole different conversation happening on this flying broomstick as they watch this the supply wagon slowly being devoured, or at least the honey supply slowly being devoured by this giant bear. That Louis seems to have peeked over his shoulder to kind of.
Yeah, Louis
know.
goes, oh, Sally, Sharon is caring. Give me some of that honey too. And
I take the honey pot and take it a little bit away and go.
I dip my beard in the honey and I turn back and I keep driving and I lick my beard every once in a while.
Critter
now
calls it from above.
inedible.
Wait a
I'll
minute.
go back and put out a claw and just like, it's full of honey. Arr.
Arr.
Are you all eating the supplies?
No. With
I
a
shove-
beard
Wait a
full
second,
of
are
honey.
you? Is that what
With
you're
a
doing
beard
over
full
there?
of honey. No.
I'm gonna try to stealthily put the honey pot onto Louis.
I will grab it. I want it.
Roll a stealth check.
Oh no.
That can
Am
test it
I-
with perception.
With the bear, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Natural 20.
No, not Louis. Not Louis.
Oh,
Louis
no.
doesn't stealth check. The bear needs to try and stealth to put. Yeah, no, it's absolutely not stealthy at all. You literally watch as you put it on the wagon, and then slide it a little. It hasn't gone fully over to him. So you slide it again. Still not quite there. You slide it one more time. Everyone's watching you.
Thanks for the honey, bear. And I grab it and I scream it.
Gonna be 30 silver pieces for the honey.
Red is just kind
80
of glaring
gold
at him,
pieces
and you
for
hear
my
like,
staff.
All right.
Red is just glaring at him, and he's like,
She thinks I have money. I do not. And I keep eating the honey.
I'm gonna like go in a corner and just like try to put my paws over my face like I'm hiding.
As you do so, you hear a rumbling sound. The
Oh, no,
the
not
ground again begins to shake. This time, probably a little bit more violently than before. You look up naturally and instinctively to see if there's any rocks falling, but there aren't. Just tiny little rumbles. As it does so, it seems to get louder and louder. Something is approaching. Suddenly, from right next to the wagon, bedded into the wall, this huge and intense maw appears.
Doggy.
All right,
I wanna go home, Frederick.
to our map maker, can we slide a little bit to the side so that we can see this giant and imposing creature as it arrives on scene? This humongous purple worm juts
Oh
out.
boy.
Its mouth filled with razor-sharp teeth capable of ripping and tearing apart stone and rocks. Also, thank you. Holy hell, thank you so much.
Hey, Joseph.
Hey Joe, how are you,
Heyo.
dude?
Welcome,
Hey.
welcome. I'm just about to kill a group of adventurers, so you've come at a good time. No, okay, so let me fill you in. Our group of rather little adventurers who are big in heart are currently escorting a small carriage of supplies to soldiers in a war-torn Kragland. Their cart has come under fire by a giant purple worm. This creature is capable of ripping apart rocks like it was a cotton doll, basically. And you are looking straight into the jaws of death. We are rolling initiative as we get ready for battle. All right, you guys can roll your own initiative.
Hey.
I feel like that's nice. Also, thank you so much to everyone for the follows and for the likes. If you guys
Hey.
like the show, of course, definitely give it a follow because we do tons of stuff like this and way more. All right. Rip int rolls.
I love how the second Joseph raids, a giant wiggler shows up.
It's so fitting.
Bear
rename the
fitting.
purple worm Joe Cat.
In fact, I'm actually officially changing the name from Purple Worm to Joe Worm.
To Joe Worm.
It is
Oh,
the
wow.
Joe Worm. The
It's a
great and
kitty.
mighty Joe Worm. All right. So, starting us off, Louis from the driver's seat of the wagon. The horses, even though they are war horses, are kind of trying to look brave and stuff, but they're looking at this thing which looks more like a cave than an actual creature and going, I don't get paid enough for this. What about you? They pay me nothing but horse feed. Anyway,
We are the same. I get
Louis.
paid horse feed too. Louisville. So I have to drive, right?
well, you don't have to drive.
But I don't have much I can do as a barbarian except drive. So I will go. Come on, horses! It's just a kitten. Go, go! Whenever try to make them go fast.
All right. Make a animal handling check as you attempt to whip the horses into a frenzy to escape the large and monstrous creature.
No.
The horse's turn. It does not take much convincing.
I will use my inspiration because I really don't want to die.
You don't need to. You're good. You're good.
Oh, okay.
Fine, mate. Fine. Don't worry about it. All right.
Scary. I'm acting brave, but I'm very scared.
The wagon turns. It's a very sharp turn, so you don't actually get too far away.
Yes.
But yes, the horses are like, yup, you don't need to tell me twice. The horses turn the wagon and begin to leave. Mallory, it is your turn. You're a little bit closer close for comfort for this creature. You remember and throw your mind back into all of your books from studying at the Cinderfang Academy. For a free action, I will allow you to make a history check to try and understand what this creature is.
Gotcha. All right. And she has a good idea. However, let me go ahead and roll it.
You can do it.
History. The only skill check that matters.
All right.
16.
According to your books on the Kraglands, there is rumor of a giant worm, a purple worm by species, but it is known by the locals as the deep maw, or the Joe worm, to the more colloquials. This creature is basically considered to be kind of akin to an ant lion, creating large pits that suck in and devour those unsuspecting travelers. This is probably the most active Deep Maw is said to have been acting, normally residing in the darkest and deepest areas of the Kraglands. Him being on the surface is incredibly unusual. It absolutely should not be happening.
Why the heck is this thing here? Are we in close to its lair or something? Frigid,
What is
we
that
have to
thing?
get out of here. Literally no clue. I mean, I do know what it is, but I don't want to dwell on it too much.
Let's go ahead. So from that knowledge, I can assume that. So the way it traps its prey is it creates holes in the ground for them to like fall into, like pit traps. Is that what you said?
Correct. And then pretty much once falling into the traps, you literally go into its mouth.
Gotcha. All right. So for right now, its mouth is here, which means the path ahead of us is actually not a trap. I feel like our best bet right now would be to run and or buy the cart some time to traverse. What spells do I have for that? Let's see.
You watch as Mallory reaches into her jacket pocket and pulls out a small notebook. It is emblazoned on the front with a sapphire dragon's head as she begins to flick frantically. What spells do I have? What have I got here?
All right. I'm going to big brain. Use my Conjuration Wizard's ability to create a 3-foot by 3-foot cube of raw meat and then throw it off maybe a good 20 feet to the northwest.
All right. Make a ranged attack with cube of meat.
Just adding dexterity? So just a +3? Or is this throwing
Yeah,
it
just
with
a +3.
Alright.
We are going to call this... Thank you. We are going to call this spell Meat Yeet. As you throw the cube of meat, and it lands with a splort nearby.
This is amazing.
Powerful magic.
Very well. All right, Zelly. You smell a delicious cube of meat to the north.
You better not.
Oh no.
As the bear sort of still with mouth dripping with honey, you know, you see this great creature, but then all of a sudden you just smell this intoxicating aroma. It's basically like this like A5 marbled Wagyu slab of meat.
Do I have to like resist or something?
Yes, why not? Make a
Oh
wisdom-
no!
make a
Just
wisdom
build
saving
up on it, honey.
You brought this to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You brought.
Oh, no. I just wanted to be a cute teddy bear. Oh,
Resist
well.
immediately.
All right,
Well, it's
so
supposed to be
Becoming
bait.
the
I
meat.
mean, I don't. I mean, it's bait. It's what it is.
all right, wisdom. Ooh.
You resist. You hear this. You hear this bear sort of. You know, like just. Have you ever seen a bear over salivate? You know, like. That's basically you got the Pavlovian effect. What do you wish to do on your turn?
Disappointment that I can't get the meat. I'm thinking my weight is slowing down the cart.
Mhm.
So I'll probably jump off the cart because my speed's 40 feet. So it's decently fast, I think.
Sure.
And I would like to intimidate the Joe worm so it doesn't come close to us as a bear. Give it a big old bear roar.
All
That thing I
right.
can do?
So, yes.
What would that be? Like charisma or wisdom?
Let's go with a charisma, and I'll add a proficiency bonus of +2 because you are, of course, a bear.
bear.
For mental checks, you
Alright.
do get to use your own stats, by the way. Physical stats are animals for wild shape.
Oh,
right.
thank
Oh,
you.
then- yeah, then just use your intimidate. Straight up intimidate.
Sweet. Thank you so much. Okay.
Amazing. Frederick is the brain.
All right, a 14. With a 14, you let loose a bear roar at this creature and attempt to intimidate it. It is a very impressive sight. The Joe worm, however, turns to face you and does more or less the same as it turns and roars in your direction.
If that's his
What
roar.
the frick are you doing? Get over here! It's going to eat you!
Now the creature is actually blind and is unable to see anything. But it has heard a threatening growl. It lunges towards our dear bear. And I'm just gonna roll a very quick percentile here. This could be the
Oh
very,
god.
I
very
can't
short.
look. Oh wait, I can.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh
Alright,
no.
to let my audience know how I roll things. I always roll the higher percentage is in favor of my party. I rolled an 84%. The creature disappears as
Oh, no.
as it lunges and creates this incredibly large hole right next to where Deli was and digs into the ground. There you go. You guys should be able to see that in just a moment.
no. Row.
All right. So it has disappeared underground as it sort of. All right,
Oh. Well,
Frederick, it's your turn.
Silly, it's building a murderous trap underneath you right now. Just thought you should know that.
Oh, right. We should probably scout ahead then, see if we can find any place that's been disturbed.
Definitely.
That thing is setting up and lying in wait. We don't want to run into it.
Frederick,
I'll
can you
be
make
taking
a
Frederick's
perception check?
advice.
Yes, I can.
look at him go.
Frederick, you cast your gaze in front of the group, and as you do, you can see the loose rocks being, as they sort of appear, falling from the chasm above. You can see a number of these large rocks starting to appear, obstructing the road ahead.
Can I see a clear path around them, or are they like fully obstructing the road?
Most of them you can get around, but there is one particularly large obstruction
All right,
at the end. If we go a little bit to the east of where we can currently see the wagon, you can see that ledge is kind of blocked off by some of the larger rocks there.
I'll call out to Louis. Louis, there's some rocks in the way. Do you think you'd be able to move them out of the way?
Absolutely, yes.
Do you need me to take care of the horses?
Yes.
All right. And I'm going to jump. I'm going to give Mallory a little salute as I'm going to jump off of the broom and land right next to Louis.
Don't
That
do
way I can
anything
take care of
stupid, please.
If you've ever seen Thor: The Dark World, you know that there's that bit with Fandral when he jumps off the skiff. I'm kind of imagining that, like he just sort of stands upright on the broomstick, sort of salutes, and then just sort of does a half step back and lands almost perfectly on the wagon.
Yeah.
All right.
Then I'll take the reins and let Louis run on ahead to deal
All
with
right.
the rock.
Okay, we can step out of initiative order for the time being, as the worm has, for the time being, disappeared. I presume you're continuing the carriage to move as best you can, Frederick?
Yeah. Gonna
All
go
right, can I
slowly
get-
because I don't have animal handling proficiency.
Oh well, yeah. Go with your dexterity if you wish to, and we can go with that.
All right. Damn it! I have not been rolling well.
Okay.
That's what
As you get to the first of the boulders, the horses seem to struggle to fit. Some of the horses actually end up over the edge.
They're gone.
no,
The
Louis has
horses
been run over.
cry out in panic as they're losing their footing.
Can I grab onto the back of the wagon?
Yes, you can. Make an athletics check as your bear and grab onto the back of the wagon. Mallory, what are you doing as you see this happen?
Mallory's literally just sweating, skimming through her spell book, literally having no idea what to do. She knows how large this monstrosity is, and because of that, she's flying a good maybe another 100 feet into the air, just sweating, knowing that Frederick is in some real big danger right now, and she's not prepared enough to deal with this.
Okay. Yeah, clearly it's going to be the world's shortest campaign. All right, Louis, you can see that despite her large size in bear form, Zelly is struggling to keep the wagon aloft. These
Oh, it's
horses are
falling?
going.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's slipping. It's
Okay.
slipping good.
Louis will enter the rage. His usually fluffy beard gets peaked, and his muscles bulge as they get veiny, and his eyes go white, and he goes, roar, and he will grab the caravan, he will pull it back straight. Like, come on, horses, do your thing.
Louis, while you're doing that, Mallory's finally gonna use her brain for a second, fly down quickly, like,
Louis, please take this.
and then she spins her broomstick around, using the crystal in the back that's been helping her fly, blasting you with a surge of positive energy, and she'll be casting Enlarge Reduce to make you a size larger.
I am medium sized now.
All
I
right.
am
Watch as the
5'11".
muscles swell even further, and you see this medium-sized muscle gnome.
It's like a night on Christmas, and I will pull the cart straight.
All right, roll an athletics check with advantage.
Yes. Advantage.
You got this, Louis. You got this.
Very good, yes.
I've
25.
got advantage.
You pull the wagon back to safety. As you do so, Frederick, you're kind of probably a little bit more relieved, given that you were, if the horses went over, you'd also
Not
have
dying.
gone
Not
over
dying
pretty quick.
currently, yes.
However,
You. Sorry about that. I got a little ahead of myself there. Won't happen again, I promise. Little did you know it would happen again.
Yes. And Louis will
Foreshadowing this early on.
Louis will start sprinting to the rocks that are actually covering the pass. Oh, wait a minute, no. Louis will
However-
not start running.
there is a huge. Well, as Louis starts to run, he very quickly
Oh.
stops as the purple worm bursts out of the
Oh boy.
and grabs hold of the boulder that that was in front of the path and devours it. As it crunches, a spray of rock basically flies out in all directions. And you see it's now in the way. Louis, what do you do?
Oh, well, isn't that bad? It's clearing the path. And I will sprint towards the rock that is actually covering our path.
All right. As you move past it,
Yes.
you kind of smell the breath of this creature. Make a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
Yes, sir. I mean, I live with my smell, so... Saving throw with advantage.
Yes, please.
Give me a second.
Saving throw with advantage.
Advantage. Here we go. Hey, 23. I'm
You
running
remember-
well today.
You remember Uncle Ivan's borscht? It was left in the cold out in the winters for many
Yes.
moons, and then he accidentally ate it, and the smell of his breath for the next 6 months was something like what this is smelling like.
I would be
And,
no real gnome if I couldn't handle a little, warm breath. Oh, that's why they call it warm breath. I see. Interesting.
All right, you actually do make it with a double move to the
Yes.
to the blockage where you can see the
Yes.
rocks in the way, but that's all you can do this round. Mallory.
First of all, she's just gonna yell out to Louis.
Louis, that spell makes your brain larger too. Don't forget to use it.
A what now?
Let me see, spell-wise, where's this worm's face directed towards right now? Like, if it were to continue its trajectory, where's it going?
It looks like it's figuring out what it wants to do.
The meat didn't work before. Let's see. I can only do so much. I'm gonna take the cube of meat that I created before and cast catapult on it to fling it at the worm and into its mouth, hopefully.
All right. Very well. Cast catapult on the purple worm, the Joe worm. Let's see if he gets hit.
Let's see.
If you click the magnifying glass, you can get the spell casts and stuff like that.
Yeah, gotcha. All right.
Ugh.
So,
Look, I wrote this adventure, and I'm nervous for you guys.
catapult. Cast. Die.
The meat flies and splats on the wall.
This isn't
Um,
working.
Mallory, given that you are on your broomstick, can I also get you to make me a perception check, please?
Gotcha.
Failure actually does mean that the worm failed to save.
Oh, does it? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, my apologies. Yes, no, of course. I completely forgot that. In fact, no, it actually does strike the Joe worm square in the head. You can roll your damage.
Oh, I was scared. Like 23, there's like no hope at that point. Well, at least I know there's a chance. Also, perception. Let me roll that and go ahead and get the damage as well.
All right.
Actions.
Okay,
Damn.
yep, roll the damage straight onto the Joe worm.
There we go.
All right. Very nice. As you've struck the creature, it sort of... You hit it in the mouth, but it kind of hits its cheek as it sort of... And then it sort of chews. And as it does, it then spits. Then looks towards where Mallory's standing.
Hello.
Mallory, you notice a shadow suddenly pass overhead. At first you think it's a bird, but then when you take a greater look, you can see
It's another worm.
3 large feline creatures, anthropomorphized with massive wings spanning outwards like bats, tails that dangle from their backs, wearing gear that look akin to Greco-Roman warrior attire. Plate mail on the front, small battle skirts, as well as shoulder pads that sort of hold massive pauldrons to their form. Their warrior physique, imposing, gliding and hovering in the air above, circling and watching you.
Guys, there's a bunch of furries.
Oh no, the worst kind.
Turning your gaze upwards, you see 3 manticore staring down, each of which carrying literally a basket on its back filled with giant rocks. Ketunakar! Bukarsko! Tevin! Kai! Water! Zelly, you hear this shouting coming from above. You can't really see as they have actually aligned themselves almost perfectly with the sun. And as you turn, it's sort of hard to pin exactly where they are.
But I can smell them, I think. Maybe. Okay. Do they speak in common or a different language? What did they say?
I think they speak no.
They speak in Manticore.
In Manticore? Oof. Okay, well, don't have that. No idea what's happening. I'm a very confused bear. At the moment, I do want to cast. I guess I'm gonna get out of my bear form, so I can cast a spell, and be like,
Oh man, we're sure in a pickle this time, you guys. This is real bad.
and I'm gonna cast guidance on the horses or Frederick. I'll cast guidance on Frederick since he's driving the horses, so that way he can get a boost on that ability check for what he's doing. See, do I just press this button? Is it this one?
If you drag the effect on top of my token and stuff, you can give it to me.
Ooh, okay. Boom.
Yeah.
Done. All
There you
right,
go.
guidance has been given to Frederick. We now turn to the Manticore.
Horses safely out there.
Frederick, do you respond?
I have no idea how to respond. He's kind of just a panic because there's all this stuff happening.
Oh, I meant to Zelly casting the spell on you.
Oh, be like, right. And he'll just kind of get ready to move on the next turn when he can.
All right.
All right,
Right.
my initiative.
The Manticore turn, and they all immediately look towards Mallory. Their eyes suddenly turn this almost glowing red. Tekulaharan! Hayel Fukor! Hayel Fukor!
So you're the racist ones.
They probably like you, don't worry.
No, guys, seriously, manticores hate high elves. Why the heck are they here?
Well,
Were you all looking for me?
I asked them.
One of them turns, this one, of course, being a large female with, kind of full plate and the like. She raises her tail, arching it so it stretches to one shoulder, as she then flicks the tail downwards. This rain of spikes flies towards Mallory.
Gotcha.
14, which lands a hit, and Mallory takes 8 points of damage.
All right.
oh no.
Yeah. Would I be able to use shield to counter that?
You may. You have to beat a 14 for your AC, and I believe shield will negate that.
Gotcha. All right. Shield going up.
All right. As the spikes come down, you immediately cast, as you sort of raise your hands to block it. A tiny orb crystal in the center of your staff flies outwards, and you watch as it replicates, creating this shield in front of you that the spike shatters on.
Phew. Alright, this is getting significantly worse, guys.
Well,
Frederick,
I'm fine. I'm
can you
doing
tell which
okay.
one of these manticores might be the one that we can use to help you out?
I think the one think the one up there, and he points over to the easternmost one.
Really? Maybe it is worth fighting. Just pay close attention to the worm. We don't want this to quickly become a one-sided fight.
All right. The worm turns and eats the next boulder. As it bites down, you can see its whole body now blocks the path of the wagon. However, that being said, the worm's body is not perfectly spherical. As it is an invertebrate, it doesn't sort of maintain a perfectly round shape. Instead, it creates almost a hill on the actual path in front of you. The other manticore, they then take out what appear to be large boulders, throwing it at the cliff face, causing a dislodgement of more of these rocks that begin to fall downwards. I need a dexterity saving throw from Frederick.
It's one thing that I am good at.
You got this. Go for it.
Go, Frederick.
Let's see, save. Yee.
Woot woot.
All right. You manage to keep the horses together as the rocks pass just in front of them and continue down onto the lower level. All right. The second manticore throws another tail spike at Mallory. That is a 15, and with no reactions, the spikes embed in your back.
Gotcha. I still have shield on until the end of this round, correct?
Oh, does it? How long does it last? I thought if it lasts until the end of the round, then yes.
Yeah, let me see. Until the start of my next turn.
Oh, nice, nice. All right, well, yeah, then I believe that will, You know
Hold
what?
up that pristine barrier and avoid those murder spikes as well.
All right, there you go. You ignore that one as well.
I'll keep him busy,
Right.
guys. Come up with a plan.
Frederick, it is your turn.
All right, so the worm is basically kind of making a big hill passageway. I have a feeling
Yep.
the horses probably wouldn't be able to get over that, right?
Look,
Okay.
are you a specialist in driving and
I am not.
Then I'd say there's no reason why they couldn't. I mean, it's a hill.
At the same time, though, it's also alive, and I think if we touch this thing, it'll probably react, which won't be good.
I mean, I did hit it with a cube of meat. How heavily did it react to that the first time?
Barely. The Joe worm is a mighty worm, a powerful worm.
Frederick, its armor is so thick it cannot feel itself.
All right. Would I be able to get the wagon over the worm in one turn? If I
Yes,
was...
potentially. If you can make the check.
All right. I will try.
Dexterity check or a animal handling check.
All right. So in desperation, he flicks the reins. And if this is bad, I'm going to use inspiration. I'm going to use inspiration.
All right, use your inspiration.
Come on.
Here we
Wow.
go.
Okay, and then also it looks like it didn't actually apply the guidance. So
15. With 15, you get up onto the worm itself. However, you have not managed to get over in a single turn. Now, Zelly, you are on the back of the wagon still?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're up there too.
Oh, whoops, sorry, I forgot. I wasn't moving.
No, that's fine. I can adjust you. That's fine. All right,
Oh,
so
no.
Zelly, you guys are now riding on top of the purple worm, on top of a wagon. The horses, thankfully, incredibly war-trained, incredibly fervent in their duties, are trying their best not to panic. Louis, we're back to you. You stand before a war.
Louis, seeing the situation and still in a rage, he will grab the rock pick it up and say, "Leave the little girl alone," and he will try to hit one of the manticores with the rock.
That is quite a substantial distance.
Yes. Yes, it
Roll with disadvantage, but I'll allow it just because I think this is going to be hilarious if you hit one of these men.
It's an attack with disadvantage, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just what do I roll?
Yeah,
Strength?
As
or-
we point out, you're throwing a quite a large boulder, 55 foot plus
Yeah.
about 60 foot in the air, so about 120 foot.
What do I roll exactly?
Roll a ranged attack. So if we go into your character sheet, we got a 3. So just roll your javelin minus 4.
Okay. And a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay. Javelin.
Which is a regular check without advantage. But if you hit the disadvantage thing, it'll calculate that.
18.
All right. 18. All right. With an 18, you throw the rock and it flies into the manticore. As it does so, the manticore the manticore does not really respond too well to that. Roll 4d4 damage.
Okay. How do I add more dice?
Okay, so you left click on the dice, then tap right click while you're holding it 3 times, then drop it in chat.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Give me a second.
Go ahead and add an extra 1d4 because of my
Oh,
enlarge spell on
that
it.
would be 18 damage.
Keep it even.
All right. He
Yes,
takes
keep it
18
even.
damage as this boulder. You watch as he basically is looking down. He's kind of like,
Power. Yes.
and then suddenly, you see as he sort of reaches into his coat, pulls out a sign. The sign's written in kind of this Sanskrit symbologic language. It literally says "uh-oh," as
The Roadrunner.
bang! This boulder just collides with his body.
Good.
But in doing so, the path is now reasonably clear, and the wagon can get over.
Yes. With my movement, I
Valerie.
will get out of the way, by the way. I will
Oh, very
go around the rock, so I don't... Yes.
100% easy done. Mallory, it is your turn.
All right, taking this as an initiative to get the heck out of this horrible position. I'm gonna quickly cast Mage Armor on myself. Surprised I haven't done that yet. Let's see. Effect. And get this on me now. Thank you. AC bumping up a little bit. Hopefully
Nice,
I did that right. There we go. All right, and I am moving. Done. Let me see. 50 feet to my knowledge. 5, 10, 15, 20. Right around here.
All right, very nice. You fly your broomstick.
Now,
I
is
would-
that 50 feet? I
That'd
see
be
the
25.
hex. Yeah, let me see. That might be 50. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's you got about another 10 foot.
All right, there we go.
There you go. All right, you're next to the wagon. Zelly, you are on the back of the wagon. Mallory's pulled up alongside of you. You're on top of a giant purple worm.
They're coming, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming.
Oh, well, let's hold him back then, shall we? Oh, Beam, let's go.
You seem very calm about the fact that we're on a giant man-eating worm.
They're coming, they're coming.
Do I put the cast or the damage on the icon when doing spell attacks?
I believe if you press on the little lasso / magnifying glass,
Yeah.
it'll open up a thing.
Yeah.
Roll attack onto them first. And
Oh,
then that.
attack. That makes sense. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Nothing. I'm clicking the attack button.
You got to drag it on top of their token, or on top of
Yes.
their position in the combat tracker.
What spell are you casting?
It's not doing it. I'm dragging it over.
Yep. Which spell are you casting?
It's the Moonbeam.
Moonbeam. All right.
Now-
You got to make the save. It's a saving throw.
Oh, it's a save. Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah,
so
that one
drag-
That one specifically goes off on the start of their turn. So you can basically specify where you want it to appear, and then on the start of their turn, they'll take the damage.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
So, a 120 foot long beam basically flies out from Zelly's hands as they shoot up. This silvery beam strikes one of the manticore. However, these creatures are quite akin to working in the hot and harsh sunlight of the deserts of the Mockingbird Plain, and are quite resistant to it. They take half damage, so you can now roll your damage onto that guy, and it should automatically halve it for you.
Oh, these guys are really quick, aren't they?
Sadly.
Okay, 17. So, did you roll that on the manticore that you hit?
Oh, I did not. I'm sorry. It's the one. It's Manticore Male 2.
Okay, so half of that is 8. Done. All right. You watch as he turns his attention to the wagon as well and sort of glares in your direction.
Uh-oh.
Chaka.
Frederick, I think you better move.
I would love to, but I'm at the bottom of the initiative order.
All right. The manticores call out and begin to throw rocks. As they do so, they throw them onto this lower landing. And there's really no understanding as to why until the Joe Worm turns its mighty head towards where the rocks have fallen. And it begins to move down the side of the cliff. Along with the wagon.
Yes, I think they control it. They control the worm.
You suddenly sort of feel your guts sort of rising up into your throat as you fall off the edge of the path, following the length of the back armor of the worm as it chases after these large stones, eating it basically, eating these little bits of rock and mineral that have been thrown down. In an immediate action, Louis, would you like to attempt to try and grab onto the back of the wagon?
Yes.
Make an athletics check as the
With
wagon goes
advantage.
over the edge and you
That would be
Oh.
17.
with the advantage dropping a natural 1, you leap and grab onto the back as you guys go clean over the edge. It's
Louis!
like a roll.
Hey there, Sally. Do you
Oh,
come here
goodness.
often?
I know. Just running around a purple worm, nothing different. How about the rest of you guys, Valerie, Frederick? Everyone good? Oh boy.
I regret everything. I regret everything I've ever done.
I know.
You all know why we're here.
As the purple worm makes its way downwards, you watch as its mouth opens and it begins to dig as it strikes the ground. Imminently, you, the horses, everything is going to crash hard into the floor. When suddenly, you see on a small ledge a figure. It appears to be an orc. Gray skin, thick muscles, large jaw. You watch
Impressive.
as he spins his arms around and creates a stretch of earth that reaches underneath where your wagon is, almost creating a very temporal ledge. This path that appears in front of you arcs towards one of the boulders nearby, and I will draw this path here in a moment. There we go. You guys should be able to see that in just a second.
Mom, please pick me up.
Oh.
I'm scared.
I can pick you up. I'm strong.
All right.
A lot is happening right now. I'll admit that.
So as the wagon lands, I'm going to get our dear friend Frederick. We'll need another driving check if you'd be so kind.
Dexterity.
Yes, please. The rocks begin to crumble around the back. The back of the wagon starts to lose its footing because this is a very thin. This is almost like a pizza crust of a bridge that's happening here. Bits are falling off it, and the back of the wagon is struggling. The horse's feet are kind of crumbling through it. As you can see, this orc trying his hardest to kind of maintain this magic. We're gonna go to we're gonna keep going through initiative. So that was the Joe Worm. The Manticore are focused on what they're doing. They're still throwing rocks, but more just throwing these boulders down towards you. They don't have it because of the incline. They can't directly attack you, but they're just throwing boulder after boulder down in your direction. Frederick, it is your turn.
Can I try to do anything to try and get control of the horses and try to like stabilize the cart and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Another driving check, unless you have special abilities or powers that you think you might be able to put to good use.
I am a mundane martial class. I have no magic.
All right. With a 13, you whip the horses. You kind of whisper something to them to encourage them.
Please settle down. It's all okay. The worm, it's no longer here. This nice man has decided to create a landing for us, and it's a runaway ramp, you see. And we'll be safe as long as you can come to a stop, and please don't run into the boulder. Thank you.
All right. The horses heed your warning, and they sort of nod to each other as they then dig deep and pull and pull and pull until the wagon is on this ledge to the side. As you and the others are pulled to safety, you can see that there is a crack along the side of the wall behind the boulder. The orc gestures for you to follow.
Okay.
Can I direct the horses to kind of go? Will the horses fit in there, or?
The horses will fit in there very narrowly, but yes, only just.
All right, I'll carefully maneuver the wagon in there then, as best I can.
All right. With that, we leave initiative.
Is this guy part of the original caravan? I don't remember seeing him with us.
Now, as your hearts continue to race inside of this rather dark and eerie cave, you hear the sound of a sizzle as a torch is lit by the orc. He says nothing to you, but stares at you with these deep, pocketed eyes. His body covered in bones and feathers. A fetish of skulls hangs from his neck. He leads you in. I was gonna say that was very dramatic. I mean, it's just, oh god, he's not gonna hit you with it. It's just yeah.
Oh no! Watch out! Here's a torch.
He leads you into the cave deeper and deeper. It's at a slow pace. You make your way into the darkness.
Thank you.
No hurry.
Thank you very much, kind sir. We would have been worm food if it had not been for you.
They might still be worm food.
Excuse me.
I don't want to think about that.
Excuse me. And I go stepping on the heads of my companions as I go in front and I start handling the caravan myself. Yeah. Excuse me. Yes. My medium-sized form still. Oh no. Or yes. Do I have still enlarge?
For the time being, yes. However,
Okay,
what we don't need is we do not require this map any further. So with a wave of our wand, whew,
Hey,
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yes, Louis, you have climbed to the front of the driver's seat next to Frederick.
Hello, Frederick. You did an incredible job, friend.
You sure did, buddy.
That was quite
Well,
impressive, actually.
Well, thank you. I have obviously ridden some horses in the past over at my estate, and if anybody wants to roll an insight check to see if he's bluffing or not.
Nah,
Louis
Mallory.
does not detect lie. Louis knows-
She's fine with it, regardless of what you say.
All right.
Sure,
As
why
you
not?
are- All right. As you are being Zelly, you're pretty on point with this. You're fairly confident that any riding he may have done would definitely be nothing compared to what he has just tried to achieve. Now he can officially say that he's ridden a carriage on a purple worm. So there you go.
That's a story to tell when you get back home.
Right.
Frederick takes a moment to think of his home.
Oh, I so do miss home. It's so much less arid there.
Oh, Frederick, I'm curious. If you could have any food right now, what would it be?
Probably a roast pheasant.
All right.
Delicious.
I would assume that due to our relationship, I might know what you appreciate, so I'm going to use my conjuration to create that for you.
Well done. Enjoy it. For now, at least.
Yes.
You create a as you begin to cast. Actually, all of a sudden, the orc turns to you, and as he does, he raises his hand. No magic.
Oh, apologies. You didn't just create magic to help us get here, did you not?
Magic. Bring teeth.
Oh, is that true?
Can I roll history on that knowledge?
Roll a nature if you wish to.
Nature, gotcha. Let me see if that's really the case. Whoop. 11.
No clue. Maybe.
Whatever.
Just cross-legged inside of the cart.
Valerie, did you take damage earlier from the manticores?
Nope, not at all, actually.
Oh, okay,
Surprising.
good. Oh, you had me worried there. You were all by yourself. You should never split from the group. Remember that.
All
No,
right,
honestly, I'm probably the most capable when it comes to that, so you don't have to worry yourself too much.
Oh, well. Oh, okay.
all right. As the light of the orc illuminates the tunnel that you travel down, we are going to take a very short break, just to kind of recharge our batteries and get something to drink. We will be continuing the second half of this stream once we return. However, in between, we are going to be doing some very special things. We are conducting a giveaway for a voucher for Hero Forge, the customized miniature builder that is available to everyone to explore and have fun. For those of you who do not know, Hero Forge is releasing Hero Forge 2.0 very soon, which will not only introduce a whole bunch of very cool detailed option assets for your miniature, but also color, which is a lot of awesome fun. So stick around as we go for the break. And,
a few details.
Oh, go.
Details on that. Now, the giveaway is open to residents of the United States and Canada, excluding Quebec. Sorry, those aren't our rules. You also need to be 18 years of age or older. Now, if you want to get in on that giveaway, go ahead and type into the chat the word YEET. That is YEET. Just type YEET in the chat, and you will be entered to win that $35 gift code for Hero Forge. We'll be taking a 15-minute break, and when we get back, we will poll the winner for that. So, sit tight. See you soon. All right, adventurers, welcome back from the break. This is your last reminder. If you want to get in on this giveaway for a Hero Forge gift code, be sure to enter the word YEET into the chat. Again, to be eligible, you have to be a resident of the United States or Canada, excluding Quebec, 18 years of age or older. Not all rules, it's just the law. All right. Now, Michael, can we get a quick recap here?
Of course we can. Crazy inanimate voice that seems to be coming from everywhere. So when last we left our adventurers, they had managed to take their supply train deep within the Kraglands, a war-torn area of the Olestrian countryside, and had been attacked by a vicious purple worm. Its movements through the landscape causing a catastrophic careen of boulders and rocks, and to make matters worse, a patrol of flying manticore set upon poor Mallory as they try to valiantly escape their conundrum. However, thanks to the quick intervention of an orcish shaman, the group used their wits, their guile, and their teamwork to stay true onto their path and save not only themselves, but also the supply and the horses with them. Now they find themselves deep within the mountainsides of the Kraglands, following this shaman, who knows where. I guess we'll find out in just a moment.
But
So-
first, let's see who our winner is.
Oh, we got a winner.
Captain Fowl, congratulations. You
Woo!
can reach out to the Mad Maker either in our Discord, or if you go ahead and send a whisper to the channel here, we will get your code over to you. Congratulations on your win. Enjoy your Hero Forge goodies. Now then, to the tale.
You find yourselves surrounded by rocks and stones. The light from here is only illuminated by the torch held by the shaman in front of you. He has urged you to not use magic in this area for warnings of the creatures disliking, of course, being exposed to magic. Eventually, further up ahead, you see the gates to a large orcish encampment. What you guys know about the Stoneskin Orc is that unlike their forest orc brethren, who are rather muscular and quite violent, or even the coastal orcs, who are known to be quite free-spirited pirates, very agile, very lithe, the Stoneskin Orcs are a stubborn, proud race, filled with people that have been known to overthrow tests of strength as children. Their huge forms and incredibly dense skin are what earned them the name the Stonekin. And as you follow the shaman into his village, you can see warriors training by what look to be dummies dressed as knights from Winner's Keep. These orcs swing at them with these large and heavy axes, the sounds cracking against the steel as they continue to train. You can see nearby several poles stuck with the skulls of the enemies of the orcs as you begin to get closer and closer to what appears to be an immense and well-dressed orc in the center of the camp. His gaze passing over everyone and everything until it rests at you. Untar.
Hello there.
The orcs kind of look around, and the shaman bows and says, Huntar.
Yeah, sure.
What?
Guys,
Hey, one,
huddle real quick.
you huddle off to one side.
Hunter! And I will turn around and huddle with everyone.
Alright, real quick. Stuff you guys probably want to know before we get involved in any of this. Now, the Stoneskin Orcs, alright? They're a warring family. They've banded together to fight against the northern areas of Fort Jawbone. They're essentially fighting against goblins, hobgoblins, giants, trolls, and the northern forts cannot be destroyed. These guys are incredibly vicious. Whatever you say to them, please, please, don't make it seem like you're allying or helping the northern enemies, quote unquote, alright?
As she's saying this, Louis already left to talk to the chief.
Oh no.
So, does that mean it's okay to call them our friends since they saved us?
I guess so. They can easily turn on us if we accidentally
Where's
make
Louis?
it seem like, we're following the north.
As you cast your gaze around the huddle, you then peer outside and notice that Louis is standing about 2 inches away from this very imposing orcish individual.
Oh, hey,
Hello
look!
there.
Louis trying to make a friend.
Hello there,
We're an
chief.
enemy.
And Louis. Does he say anything?
He looks down at Louis, his eyebrows furrow. You can see his hair is tied in like this very tight plait with bones and feathers and the like. But unlike the shaman, he is armed for war. As he leans down, his 2 massive tusks sort of look at you and he says, Hey, how's it going, eh?
What the heck?
Hey! Nice to meet you, Chief. I was wondering, you're very strong. You have muscle.
Oh, well, you know what? I was going to say the same thing about you. I mean,
Oh, thank
not
you.
often we see people from Winner's Keep coming down this way, but it's absolutely a pleasure to have you and your friends here.
Thank you so much.
Everyone,
You're so generous.
come and check out the the people from the human lands. Watch as
Hey!
a whole bunch of the orcs seem to move up. All right, what is the reaction from the huddle?
Just a blank stare.
Terrified?
No sudden
Like
movement.
as soon as Frederick hears the voice of the chieftain and stuff, he immediately like is completely taken aback and is just hearing like, everybody come check them out, they're all strong, and things like that. Is what?
Oh yeah, no, don't you know we've been here in the Kraglands for well over 200-300 years now, and you know, this is probably the first time we've actually had a conversation with you folk without you throwing spears and wanging on us with your steel swords and whatnot. Although, you know, it's all part of the games, isn't it?
And I tell you, he turns back, like, smiling with a face of, we are talking all the time? What the hell? And I will go back, so friend, and I pick up a book that says...
Oh, please, call me Chieftain.
Chief, you have very big muscles, so I was wondering if you wrote this book.
Ah, he sort of has a look at the book. He reaches into his jacket pocket and pulls out some very thin spectacles.
Yes.
And puts them on. He opens the book. Oh yeah, no, you know what? I have seen this book. In fact, truth be told, one other traveler came through here. In fact, he gave us another one.
What?
Orc. One of the orcs steps forward. Yeah, yes, chieftain. Orc, do you have that book that the traveler brought with us? I think I gave it to Orc. Hey, Orc. Yeah. You have that book I lent you? Yeah. Give me a minute. He moves over to one side. I hope you don't mind. Listen, I've got to say, I am first of all, again, big welcome to all of you. I noticed that you have a large supply wagon filled with food. I imagine it's for the folks that are in the center of the Kraglands right now. We were actually getting quite worried about them. They hadn't eaten or slept in quite some time. So when we saw you coming down the path with their food being attacked by those idiot manticore, well, of course we couldn't quite rightly let you you know, get all that food lost, don't you know?
Oh, how kind of you.
Oh,
That's how kind.
the shaman turns. Yes, we help human people. War, not today. Manticore, stupid. Yes, no, I'm afraid it's all some sort of terrible misunderstanding. You see, the Manticore was supposed to conduct the air raid tomorrow for the training drills, but for some reason, you know, you can't trust a Manticore with timing or anything like that. So they've launched a day earlier. The weird thing is we sounded the war horn to let the humans know that, you know, not to let them out because we saw the Manticore coming, and it's almost like they ignored us and drove you guys here anyway.
Aw.
Yeah.
I'll be
Sound
honest.
good?
I thought that was actually the humans who actually had sounded that horn, and were just signaling to open the gate.
Oh no! I mean, I maybe it's just me, but I feel like I've never figured out what exactly the human horns mean. We usually use it to signal whether or not something's safe. If something's safe, we just simply do it. If something's not, we'll sound the horn. But every time we sound the horn, the humans think that we're going to attack them, or you know, they're going to attack us. I mean, what's the point of a surprise ambush if you're going to sound it with the horn?
Oh boy. Hey, Mallory, guess what? We were wrong about the horn earlier today. Ain't that something?
Yeah. Ain't that something? Whatever that
What's going
means.
through Mallory's head at the moment?
Well, in humanoid society, Blaring horns usually means you're going to try and kill someone.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Humans are a bit of a mystery to our kind.
No, you don't.
When we want to talk to humans, we approach them, as we normally do, with a big hug. And what they do when they approach friends is they snarl at them, baring all their teeth.
Yeah, humans are very brutish.
So aggressive.
I wouldn't recommend.
It's the
So
other way
frightening.
around. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's so frightening. I mean, it scares the children.
Yeah, it scares the children. And humans are big too. Well, not too big, they're like middle. It's so weird. They're not tiny or big, they're like in the middle. It's weird.
This is a big misunderstanding.
Did you know that animals, when they bare their teeth, it's supposed to be that there's a threat going around? So, I mean, interesting
Yes,
stuff.
I heard
Humans
that
are not
before.
animals. Animals are too smart for humans. They don't know how to do with animals.
Well, I mean, it's not just animals that do that. Certain other societies, it's a very common practice as well.
Mm.
Baring of the teeth tends to be more of a sign of aggression.
Of
When
course.
you're angry or you're looking to fight.
Yes, no, we've been told we teach our kids to generally stay as close to other orcs as possible and to avoid humanity just because we're just worried or we're afraid that they might just simply not understand. But we were really happy to see that the fellows in the middle of the Kraglands were being so looked after. But with the Manticore out and about, we thought best to invite you over and keep you guys safe until they pass by. Those idiots like to throw the boulders, and of course then there's Deathmore or the Joe Worm. Ugh, that's a very inappropriate time to be feeding the creature, if you ask me. But the Manticore love it, and so do we. So
Feeding, does it eat rocks?
no, of course. What else would it eat?
Yeah, what else would it eat? Did you see what like blah blah?
Humanoid flesh?
By the way, what is your type of insurance when it comes to damaged goods? Because the worm threw a boulder at one of your manticores. Wasn't me, was it?
Not one of our Manticores. No, he can throw boulders at those bastards all he wants. Perhaps we can discuss this more over a feast. You see,
Yes.
my lovely daughter is about to get married tonight, and we'd love to have you as honored guests.
No.
Yes.
Why?
There's food.
Sally, there's food.
There's
In a
food.
marriage.
Down an offer of hospitality.
Phyllis, hey Phyllis, you should come out. We got more
Mal-
friends.
Mallory, what's going on in your head right now?
Right now she already distrusts this orcish group. She's off put horribly by it. She knows they have a job to do, and at least from the start, she believed that Frederick had really wanted to get the job done in the hopes of mayhaps being able to get this potion brewed. But if Frederick would like to stay, then I suppose she'll oblige.
Can I read like Mallory's body language if she's nervous and stuff?
I wouldn't say that she's nervous.
Not nervous.
She's really output right here, right now. Looks like she wants to leave as fast as possible, but she's not necessarily threatened. It looks like she could have a fun time if she stayed, and knowing that Frederick's gonna hang out here, I guess we can stick around for a bit. She will go up to Frederick, but beforehand, can I take a look at my body? Knowing that I got attacked by a bunch of manticore quills earlier, could there be any stuck in between my clothes or anything in particular on my person, maybe in my hair, that didn't necessarily hit me, but rather got caught on something on me?
Roll a percentile dice.
All right, flat D100. What's the D10?
Right-click the D10, and then you can do a percent.
Gotcha. Let me see. Percent. Whoop. Oh, it's horrible.
Right click on it and then hit the D100 percentile.
Oh, did I not do it right?
No, you
D100?
did. You just rolled a 0 and a 4.
Oh, did he? Oh.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh.
was expecting.
Oh my. Okay,
No.
very well.
Now, here's the thing. Inspiration. Could that help at all?
Yes, you can use inspiration in this particular case to automatically succeed.
All right, I'll blast an inspiration point.
Okay. What happens here as you kind of look around and try to find the quill? You do indeed find one very intact quill from your first series of attacks. It seems to be embedded in your staff.
All right. This might work. Frederick, from that last manticore attack, one of them hit me with a quill, and I managed to collect one.
Oh my, that's excellent news. Do we know if it was one of the ones from the female?
I have no idea. Now, I want to ask you if you'd like to attempt for me to brew the potion and see how it goes, or would you like a more concrete quill?
Well, that honestly depends. How easy was it to make the base of the potion?
Now, how long do you think it would take for me to make the potion's base?
Probably about an hour.
Actually, not that long. Problem is, I don't have the ingredients to make one again on this trip, and I honestly wouldn't want to, considering that foreign contaminants can be literally everywhere. Honestly, it might be a while before.
If a potion brewer is what you're after, by all means, Shaman Orc is quite an excellent brewer. Has plenty of supplies in the Shaman hut if you want to use them.
Now, I am curious, why does it need to be a manticore quill, particularly in heat, as opposed to a normal quill? And what might be the circumstances for using the wrong type?
Okay, so basically the poison from a manticore is has a difference in potency. The female manticore is already quite a potent poison compared to the male. However, during a period of time, such as mating season, the poison becomes more virulent, as it is, of course, trying to also protect the manticore during its time of pregnancy, when it is otherwise normally less mobile and unable to fly.
All right, so knowing that, if Frederick drinks a potion without the proper amount of poison in the quill, what might come of that? Could we predict?
Probably the easiest thing is that nothing would happen. The worst thing that could probably happen is he might change color.
That's not the worst.
Well, I suppose it's worth a shot. If they're offering us some supplies where we could brew a few backup of bases.
Oh yeah, no, take what you need. Take what you need.
Chief,
Say
I
our
must
luggage,
say,
turn around.
your hospitality is very unprecedented and very appreciated.
I'm sorry to hear that. Orcs are usually quite friendly, don't you know? I went and visited some cousins on the coast recently. Put on a big spread. They call it a luau. They even gave me this very nice. He pulls out what appears to be a coconut bra. He gave me this nice bit of clothing for the beach.
Are those ear warmers?
Was that what they are?
Mallory just blushes.
I'll be leaving.
And she goes off to try and find that alchemist's quarters.
All right. The shaman will go with you. The alchemist quarters are, of course, to the north. And he will give you access to literally a cornucopia of supplies. A lot of the herbs and ingredients here you haven't seen, as they are from the Kraglands, which, again, very few people actually know anything about. And you work hard and diligently. Could I get you to make me an Arcana check?
Gotcha. Along with that, I'm taking my own notes for everything that's here, so I can write it down for use to show my mentors later.
Oh yeah, he'll give you a full spread on everything here.
Okay.
The chieftain then says, "Come, let's not stand around, shall we?" Oh wow, yeah, no, you create a literally a biological database of all of the stuff here. You kind of put presses, you do the pressings in journals. He gives you a bunch of stuff to do it. Your journal was started blank. It is now full, and you're onto your second book.
Just with my right hand, picking up the book and closing it with just one hand and tossing it aside as I prepare to fill up another one.
All right. Louis, what are you doing as the orcs seem to be doing preparations for the wedding?
Louis will be just hanging around, trying to see what everybody's doing, seeing if he can help. And if he can't, he'll try to do some, I don't know, juggle some boxes to entertain the orcs.
Very well. As you go around looking for something to help with, one of the orcs rushes over to you. You're the fella, aren't you? You just come with the here. Oh, I have this for you. He hands you a very worn book, which says, "When you flex your heart, you flex your soul."
Yes! I can't read, but you said that the title is that, so it is that. I believe you.
You look inside and you can see a number of poses. Now, Louis, by looking at these poses, I'm going to ask you to make 3 checks: an athletics, an acrobatics, and then a perception check.
Okay.
If you succeed all 3, you will gain a special and unique power.
Oh, I'm gonna enter into a training range to get an advantage in athletics.
Hold on, before you do that,
Yes.
they sort of guide you over to the test dummies, just so that you can do that.
Right,
And you know what?
yes.
A couple of the orcs are going to come and watch you as well. Like they said, we've tried it, but we've never been able to do it.
Can I cheer Louis on with guidance? Like, you
Oh,
can do
100%.
this! I
I
believe in you, Louis!
D4 in all my checks, is it? Or
Yeah, it'll be a D4 in all the checks. But before we get into those rolls,
Yes.
Frederick, what would you be doing as this is happening?
He would probably go over and watch, just curious to see what is going on.
Very well. Okay, so everyone gathers around Louis. All right, Louis.
first pose is me pointing with my finger and my hand on my face. Yada yada this, and I'm gonna roll my athletics.
Right.
D4.
Okay.
Hey, 25.
Beautiful. With a 25, you begin to follow the katas as you begin to flex. The first one is a side flex where you twist and you and your shoulders and your muscles appear. Sweat bounces off your skin as you do your first pose. Athletics
Yes.
check.
Can I cast guidance for each skill set or just that one turn?
No, you can do it for each skill. That's
Okay,
perfectly
so
fine.
Okay.
yeah, I'm constantly cheering you on, man. Just like, that's great, that's great.
Thank you, Sammy.
Anytime,
Now-
buddy.
Is it acrobatics next?
Yep. Also, guidance will stay on him, by the way, so don't worry
Okay.
about applying it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Hey,
That's a 13. Is that with advantage?
Oh no, I don't have advantage in acrobatics.
Oh no, you don't. Okay. So the second one, as you stretch, you kind of do the power pose, and again, sweat kind of flings off your body. You prepare for the final flex as you make a perception check.
Okay, here we go. Hey, that's very good.
Wow.
25.
And with your final 25, you do one last flex as your pecs, as your chest.
I'm
as
gonna
your chest-
pat one of the orcs on the back and be like,
That's my friend. You see that?
The orcs start clapping like, ooh, ah, oh, All right, you now permanently gain the following ability. You have bravado. Now, your rage, once you have entered a rage, you're able to grab, throw, and reposition with advantage any creature without provoking an attack. And in addition to that, should you successfully reposition, throw, or maneuver an enemy against their will, they will be frightened of you.
Oh, yes. That
That's
sounds
So that is a
fun.
permanent effect. So literally, you can grab onto someone, throw them, but the trick is it's a martial arts style. That means once you throw them almost flawlessly into a flex pose,
Yes.
and you gain this ability.
Oh, he possesses too much power. Stop him.
Yes. I will be JoJo posing from now on every day. And I go and I put my hand on Sandy's shoulder and I go, thank you very much, Sandy.
I'm so
Dorothy?
excited. You got to see another book from that author you've been trying to find now. So
Yes, you should give it a read. It would be very good for you. You could get strong like me.
I think the only thing I need to get stronger about is just the knowledge with animals. Which reminds me, hey friends, do you mind sharing some stories about like the animals that are around here? I can just write in my book. Knowledge is power.
Oh yeah. No, of course. There's lots of animals that live in the Kraglands. Oh, like the shock lizards. Oh my God! Don't give me shouts about the shock lizards. Do you hear? Orc threw one of them shock lizards into Orc's bed while he was sleeping and shocked him all night. No way! What did Orc do? Why didn't he get up? Oh, just he thought he was dreaming. It's typical Orc.
That's fascinating.
So one question I have: Are you all named Orc?
Aren't you all named? Well, actually, we don't know what to call you.
You can call me Frederick, or Fred for short.
Oh, well, nice to meet you, Frederick.
No, I'm called Frederick. This is Louis, and this is Ellie.
Hi there. And this little rat guy is my friend. I'm sorry, Phyllis. I mean Mouse.
Oh, that's really. So you're a Frederick, and you're a Zelly, and you're a Louis.
Yes.
That's correct.
Exactly.
So, okay, all right. Yeah, no, well, we just all orcs. So
But
we're
then,
orc.
how do you know who you're talking to then? That can get
Well,
confusing, don't you think?
Mallory's
Nope.
gonna come out of the tent and just yell off at them.
Yeah, orcs, we have something that you'll never have. Names.
And then she slams the door
as you-
again.
As you say that, the orcs stop, and almost the preparations for the wedding and the celebration sort of come to a halt as they all look.
What?
You have names?
What have I started?
Oh.
Oh no, Mallory.
In this world, naming is one of the greatest magics of the world. The fact that you individually have names make you, in their eyes, the most powerful creatures they've ever seen. Even the chieftain doesn't have a name. That's amazing! You're so amazing. Oh.
Yeah, we're pretty amazing.
I'm just listening to this, like, muffled through the walls of the tent that I'm in, just smirking.
Would Louis know if giving his full name could have some sort of problem for him?
No, not at all. Actually, quite the opposite. In fact, it's one of the reasons why Louis is so strong. The fact that he does indeed have quite a long name is part and parcel of the package. Now, meanwhile, in the tent where Mallory is working hard, you have finally managed to concoct this remedy that you believe. The shaman sort of looks at it and says, your understanding of potions very advanced for age.
Literally everybody says that. It's getting a bit annoying, actually. But it's done.
She holds up the brew and squints one of her eyes as she takes a look at the tincture and how transparent it is.
You rotate it, and it seems to turn this kind of yellowy, like kind of glowing color.
This is pretty good.
Do I believe this is a finished potion?
You do indeed believe it is the finished potion.
She gets really excited, blushes a bit, and sort of shakes her head and goes down back over to where she last heard Frederick.
All right. You begin to head down, and as you do, you hear something coming from a nearby pit, a deep grate that sits at the center of the village. Make a perception check as you walk past it.
Gotcha. Perception. Ooh.
Well, now.
It's fine. This
there.
is why I went a wizard. I knew I have rigged rolls.
Maybe Fedric's dice went to Mallory now.
All right. Well, I've got good news and I've got bad news. Let's see. The good news is that you get to have another combat.
Yay!
The bad news is
Good.
it's attacking the wizard first.
Oh,
I'm like just gonna keep walking, smiling even wider as I hear this monstrosity and just shed a tear.
All right. So, with advantage, because you did not see it coming, Mallory, your leg is suddenly caught by this huge, meaty, hairy arm that is covered in silver fur, as what looks to be a four-armed gorilla now grabs on, leaping to the top of the cage. It holds onto your feet and drags you to the floor. The potion bottle lands hard on the ground. You hear the glass hit the stone, but not break. It rolls and rattles as it falls to one side, just out of reach, as we go into initiative.
She still hasn't even comprehended what's going on right now. Still just smiling.
Okay.
Smiling as she's being lifted over by her feet.
All right, everyone can roll their own initiative if they wish to.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, they're fascinating now. Like a monkey.
And again, I'm at the bottom of the turn order.
I rolled a 19, but it was outside the box. Oh no.
Here's your nat ones back. I gave you the dice. You can
There you
have
go. Here's all the bad rolls again. All right. So,
Wow.
We are sharing dice.
It's really ironic because they're turning around and they're saying, "Oh yeah, and one of the things we caught was the gorilla. Oh, big beast, big, incredible creature. In fact, we're gonna be having the groom slay the creature as a wedding present for the bride. Isn't that lovely? We're keeping it over. Oh dear. Oh no!" As they point towards Mallory, as she's gotten a little too close to the pit, and the gorilla grabs onto her.
All right. Did it break out, or is its hand like just erecting out to grab me?
Its hand is reached out and is grabbing you.
Gotcha.
Now, as it sort of uses its turn, it is going to make an athletics check against yours in order to try and pull you into the
Oh
cage.
no. Oh no.
Athletics check for the wizard.
All right.
I believe
Athletics -1. Whoosh.
Ooh.
Oh no.
I'm not even going to roll. I
You
mean,
better
if I
roll
got-
a
that would be
-4.
10. No, I'll do it. Why not? There we go. Okay. All right. So without any trouble, the creature pulls you into the cage. You watch as Mallory grabs onto the dirt and slides into the actual cage itself. Louis, you're up first.
Yes. I will. Do I see the creature?
You do see you saw the creature's arm pulling Mallory in.
Oh no. I'm gonna. Can I reach with my movement, or do I have to sprint?
You can double move, and with your acrobatics, you can kind of like climb over the cart and jump and make a beeline straight for it.
Okay, I will do that, and I will try. With my body, can I jump inside the cage too?
Yeah, make me an athletics check as you attempt to swan dive.
Oh, and bonus action, I'm gonna be doing rage, so I have the. Or am I still in the rage that I entered before?
No, you'll need to go into a new one.
Okay. So, give me a second. I'm gonna with this to enter my rage. I'm in a rage now, supposedly. Okay, and now I do my checks. My athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 26.
All right. You jump in, and you are now in the cage with this creature. And Mallory, you can see, has been kind of thrown to the floor as the 4 arms beat on its chest as it's ready to rampage. Mallory, you are still under the effect of your mage armor because it hasn't been 8 hours since you cast it.
Yep. All right. Something tells me that this thing relies on animalistic intentions. Rather than provoke it, I'm going to do the exact opposite and lay dead in its arms and pretend to be a lifeless corpse.
Amazing.
Intelligent.
All right. Make a bluff check as you are trying to deceive it.
Oh no. That's deception, correct?
Yes, correct.
Whoosh. 16.
Hey.
Not bad. Not bad. It
Please
thinks
have
you're
small
dead.
brain.
It definitely thinks you are dead.
I pretend to
As,
make like my neck cracking, like my bones are breaking sound effects. And then just go limp.
The slight sadist in me wants to go. No, he doesn't. All right. Zelly, it is your turn. You have never seen a creature this big. Your eyes immediately go wide with wonder. You've never seen this before. It's actually a jungle creature and not very common. But there is a jungle to the south of the mountains near the Kraglands where this creature apparently came from.
Oh, wow, this is incredible. Oh, boy. Okay, hold on. This thing got Mallory, though. Mallory, you're doing great where you are right now.
I'm gonna see if I can calm it down to see if we can let Mallory go.
Right? How would you like to calm it down?
Let's see. Well, I guess
Meat eat.
meat. I'll try to sing it calm music, like
I heard that you guys like sweet melody, so put her down, sweetie, if you are not disfrightened.
she just goes like that.
Make a performance check.
I was hoping for animal handling. All right, performance. Oof. All right.
You know what? I'll let animal handling go. I'll
Oh no! I already rolled.
You know what? No, I'll leave that one, but you can get advantage on your animal handling roll.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
You're so kind.
Same thing.
You can roll again
14.
because that was just the straight, but you do get an advantage, like I said.
Okay.
Roll dice.
All right,
Oof.
so 19 is your total. As you do so, you watch as the Gorillon sort of. It seems to be staggered as it sways from the enchanting melody of a song about it, I guess.
Oh, sweet. You see, now this little ape is a kind-hearted soul. I really don't think it should be in a cage, really. She must be upset being in there, really. Oh. We should probably set her free.
All right.
Mallory just puffs her cheeks. She's ready to burst, but she stays quiet.
Frederick will kind of be in a panic. Mallory, no! So leap over
Frederick,
the
it's your
orcs
turn.
using his He has the trait being a grung. He can jump without having to run. So he's going to do one hop. Use his bonus action to dash. He's going to reach into his pouch. He's going to quickly tie out a little lasso and toss it down into the pit to try and reach Mallory. Grab on!
Alright.
All right, the lasso goes down into the pit. Almost immediately, a bunch of the orcs run to your aid. Quick, we gotta help him! Grab on! They grab onto your lasso as well. get ready to kind of hoist her up. You hear the chieftain go, "Oh no! Oh no! Both of them went in. Quick, someone get the key. Where are the keys? I think they're in the chieftain's hut." One of them runs off. As they do so, you watch as the chieftain then starts, sort of trying to get the attention of the creature. But seeing Zelly start to sing, the chieftain also begins to start.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do. Keep singing.
He's trying his best. Now, for the first time ever revealed on live stream, an Orc War Chief's performance check. Because
First in
I
history.
feel like that's never happened. All right, a 9. So,
Good, good.
you know what? All things considered, a War Chief is not terrible at performing. So yeah, he creates a small melody, but it offers no real benefit or penalty as he does so. The Gorillon is, of course, as he's trying his hardest to stay awake. You watch as he takes Mallory and sort of puts her down. He looks over at Louis. Louis, what are you doing? Are you just sort of
Oh, I'm
standing?
gonna be singing too.
All right, make a performance check.
Yeah. Performance. Okay. That. Oh no. Okay. Oh no.
Oh dear.
What have you done?
It would be
Well,
a
apparently-
2.
So
But it's
as
one
Louis is of course attempting to sing as well, the creature sort of drifting off. Louis, however, was raised on thrash metal, so you pretty much hear.
Louis, no.
I'm putting it to sleep. Don't worry.
The gorilla immediately wakes up from the harsh vibe
Oh, no.
and swings a fist at Louis.
Absolute imbecile.
As the fist collides with Louis, Louis takes 23 damage, which he resists partially.
I stop it. I pose like Jojo, and I take the blow. Urgh. Well, so you want it that way, huh? Very, very.
Yeah, Louis shoots it like a gaze from like the Wild West. All right, Mallory. Go for the
Okay.
grab. There's a lasso right next to you from where Frederick's looking at you from the top.
I'm going to. I don't trust myself in being able to climb it. I think these orcs and Frederick can easily pull me up. I'm going to tie it around myself and then tug on the rope twice.
All right, you do so.
Of course, she's not pulling.
She has a -1 in strength. I don't blame her.
All right, Frederick. Just as a because I'm more than happy to say that this is a reaction. Do you and the orcs want to pull as soon as you feel the tug?
Yep, that's what we do. All right, she's tugged on it. Pull.
All right, the orcs go. All right, put your backs into it. Heave! As they pull backwards, Mallory, you begin to rise very rapidly out of the pit, but the Gorillon catches sight of you. As it turns to see you, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw. As in one quick swift turn, it tries to grab at you.
Gotcha. Now, did I put this rope on using an action?
I'm gonna say no.
All right. So can I disengage then to try and avoid this?
It's quite big. Literally, you'll provoke it every step going up.
All right then. So let me acrobatics it up.
Yeah, yep. Acrobatics is fine too.
Oh!
As he sort of grabs at you, you kick off the wall, kind of pushing off it, and it grabs just a chunk of dirt from the wall. As you then climb, using its fist, you actually feel like the fur and thick hide of the creature's fist under your foot as you kick off him and climb out of the pit, just out of reach. The gorilla sort of, ooh, as it calls up towards you. Zelly.
Oh, jeez Louise. You really gotta work on your singing there, buddy.
We're pretty good if you ask me. Put a baby to sleep in my village. Beautiful.
Well, I mean, yeah, to each their own, I guess. But, Mallory, oh, thank goodness you're out. Hey, Mr. Ape, you really should calm down there.
And I don't know if it's gonna work to calming down the ape or not, but I'm gonna throw water on it.
All right.
Lovely.
So I got that's a level 1 spell. Wow, I wish I knew that. I thought it was this cantrip, but let's go with it.
Roll an intimidate.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay.
You can do it.
Mr. Ape, you gotta be quiet. There's a wedding coming.
Oh boy.
All right.
9.
So, let's cut the battle music as the ape huddles in a corner as soon as any water has splashed on it. It literally turns into the corner, and all 4 arms begin to almost cradle itself as it tries to get away from the water. Even the orc chief is kind of confused at this.
Oh,
Louis,
poor
you are
thing.
alone in the pit with this almost whimpering giant ape.
Oh, no, no, little baby. No, no, no. I never tried to calm it down and just kind of rub my hands over his huge body. Like, no, no, no. It's okay.
It sort of feels comforted by the presence of Louis. You run your hand through its fur. It's then you kind of realize a little bit about this creature. Its fur is incredibly thick and incredibly heavy, and it comes from the jungled areas just between the Razor Coast and the and Winner's Keep. That area of jungle is literally littered with rivers that are quite dense. And one of the big things about Gorillon, they're huge. They've got massive size, thick muscles that are very heavy. But if wet and water-laden, they drown. They can't swim. They're just simply incapable of it because their body collects so much water because of the hair. It drags them to the bottom and basically kills them. So they are incredibly afraid by nature of water.
I feel horrible now.
I'm gonna use my conjuration to make a 3x3 foot cube of water on top of it.
All right. As Louis is kind of like, sort of patting it, suddenly more water sort of pours down on it, and it sort of cowers in the corner even more.
Get back down there. Be gone. Be gone.
What the heck? Who did that?
Mallory, it's okay. It's fine. It's
Louis will climb out of the hole and be like, who did that? Who did that to the poor baby?
Mallory looks like she's tearing up.
All right.
And I will walk to Mallory and I will pick her up by the scruff and I will put her over the hole and be like, go apologize. And I can dangle her.
I put more water into the inside of the hole.
No, stop that. No. Oh, what have I done? Mallory is leaking water all over the place. Where did you get all that water, Mallory?
Now, here's the thing. Whenever I reuse my conjuration magic, the water I created previously disappears as if it never existed.
Yeah. So
repeatedly wet, dry.
yeah. So yeah, it's happening, and the creature is kind of like, again, it's shivering, it's cold, it's in like a little corner. The chieftain sort of looks and says, "Your friend is kind of a dick, eh?"
Yeah,
Oh,
she
just
is.
now figure that out.
And then I stand back next to Frederick.
At this point, one of the orcs come back with a key, and they give it to the chieftain. He says, our tradition is normally to have the groom fight with this creature, and then once it's been killed, we eat it. But it was such a big creature, we thought it's only suitable for the chieftain's daughter to be wed. But seeing it like this, I mean, there'd be no honor in this fight, right, fellas? You hear the orcs go.
Well, I mean, if Mallory fights the ape, it could be like, kind of at the same level, I would imagine.
What?
Right? Well, she's the one that calmed the creature down, right? So if they fight, no?
Mallory, chieftain daughter. The shaman sort of steps up. Mallory,
Yeah.
good. Is doctor. Suitable partner for chieftain daughter.
Oh,
Mallory, congratulations!
congratulations, Mallory.
Get away from me! What the heck?
Mallory, defeat. Gorilla.
Did I?
Mallory, earn right to wed.
No, that was Zelly, I suppose. It was her, not me.
Zelly?
I was just there for
Oh.
the ride.
I'm gonna do that thing where like I'm kind of kicking the door, like,
Oh, well, I don't know if I'm ready for marriage. Oh, gee whiz. There's still so many animals I gotta go discover.
As this discussion happens, Frederick, what are you doing?
He's just kind of looking between the two, just trying to figure out, like, wait a minute, didn't you say that that there was already a wedding planned? Isn't there already a groom and a bride? What? Why would you want to change that up, like, right at the last minute?
Oh, well, groom, all orcs fight for right. Winning orc get to win daughter's hand. Wait, why am I talking like the shaman? No, if you jump in and you want to fight for the white right, then that goes to my daughter.
Well, yes, but specifically, wasn't it for an orc to fight it?
Shaman? True, but never had a Louis, Mallory, Zelly, or Frederick in city before. Exception can be made.
Exception
Mallory.
won't be made. We have
Mallory,
stuff we
come
need to
on.
complete. Plus, my heart is for someone else.
Another orc?
And she goes
Oh,
over
maybe
to pick up
another
the
chieftain,
glass
you know.
bottle that she dropped previously.
You reach over and you grab the glass bottle. You can see, Frederick, you're surrounded very quickly by the orcs who begin to pat you on the back and high five you for acting so bravely when your ally was in trouble. Like, good on you. I can't believe you jumped up so quickly. No, did you see that leap you made from the freaking training camp? Oh, that was amazing.
So the ones that are coming up and slapping me on the back and stuff like that, are any of them patting where I have exposed skin at all?
Probably not, because I feel like you've covered most of that exposed skin.
Yeah, I'm not returning any high fives because I don't keep my hands covered. But
Very well.
I'll just give them like a thumbs up or something, I guess. Just sheepishly.
Very
I
well.
don't want
You
to poison
do so.
anyone.
Mallory, what do you do now?
All right, Frederick, the potion's complete. I'm not too sure how you want to do this.
Ah, right. Well, let's see. Just give it here. Might as well just try it right now. Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
But it's been so long. It's not even going to be like a big thing. It's like it's just going to happen in front of a bunch of random orcs and a gigantic hideous ape.
No, you're right. Maybe I should wait and use it at the right moment.
Yeah. At least when you know things will be all right. You still got a job to do.
Very well. Maybe a little later then.
She hands it over, and you can do what you like with it.
Don't want
All
to
right.
take away from the celebration after all, right?
And she nods.
You do so. The orcs then cheer. As they do, the celebrations go underway. You hear the sounds of festivities as drums are banged, horns are blown, and you and your companions party and eat and revel as you witness for the first time a wedding between a beautiful orcish couple here under the ground. It is quite a beautiful ceremony, and the fire is burning brightly. There are those who dance under the shimmering shadows, and you are all invited to dance by various orcs as well. Does anyone not extend the hospitalities?
I'm hanging out with the ape.
I'm hanging out with the ape too.
The two of you, as you hang out with the ape, it calms down a lot, knowing that there's water in the question. It's become less aggressive, but watches very cautiously. As you both kind of get to know it, it seems as though it is not just like kind of an animal, but a kind of almost a magical beast, like akin to a unicorn or a phoenix or a I don't know, centaur. The creature is captured, but the chieftain sort of sees you and approaches. You know, if I'm being perfectly honest, I've never really been one for tradition. In fact, the fact that we have so many different people here is a sign of change. Change can be a good thing. It's scary at first and, as in many cases, can be quite violent if not understood well. I'll let the creature go. My daughter can marry whomever she wishes to.
Oh, boy, that makes me so happy. I was just going to ask you if we can let that thing go, and you just did it for me.
And I'm gonna go give the war chief orc a hug. Be like,
Oh, thank you. Being kind to all animals, I mean, we gotta look after them, because they can't speak for themselves sometimes.
He looks at you with a furrowed eyebrow and a frown, and then he sort of stops, and you watch as he does this.
I will imitate that, and I will bare my teeth at him like, yeah.
Me too.
He's trying to reciprocate a smile. Meanwhile, Frederick and Mallory, you guys are sitting next to each other on a log as a couple of the orcs are talking to you. Frederick in particular.
Yes.
I mean, I've got a question for you. You don't look like the shaman sort. Well, how do you do it? How do you put yourself in front of danger and not worry about getting killed?
Well, I guess the way that I look at everything, sometimes things just need to be done, and if they need to be done, you need to act. And you don't think about it. And you just rush in, foolishly, into danger, like a hero is supposed to do.
Hero?
Kind of just pulling words out of his butt.
Huh. Do you think we could be heroes? I mean, we're monsters, obviously, but could monsters be heroes?
Oh, I'd imagine that anybody can be a hero as long as they're willing to do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Are you guys fighting against the warring tribes to the north because you want to be heroes?
What? No, they're our friends.
Really?
Yeah. Another one turned to them. Yeah, no, the hobgoblins and the orcs have been friends for years, generations.
Gonna quickly write that down.
I thought something completely different.
No, the Kraglands are a great place. They're it's like a sporting arena for us. We all get to play and have fun in our war games. Get to see our friends and hang out with them. Keep our skills sharp in case someone dangerous shows up. We were thrilled when the humans showed up and started joining in, building that big wall and stuff. It was amazing.
They built that because they were scared of you, and they thought it was a war going on, not some sports festival.
Scared of us? Oh, why would they be scared of us? We've done nothing to humans.
Well, one thing I have learned, humans can often be a little bit judgy, to put it lightly. I mean, as you can imagine, looking like this, they treat me just like a common monster as well. Or at least many do.
Well, if you don't mind me saying, there's nothing common about you, friend.
People treat me like a monster, and I'm one of the most pristine races in the entire multiverse.
You're an iguana.
No, what the heck?
We've never
Just
seen
Face palms.
It's supposed to be perfect. A traveler said that he'd found one in his pocket, and it was pristine, or maybe he said piscine or something. I don't remember.
Please stop. This is embarrassing.
All right. Now, You finish the party after a long night and find yourselves the next day being sent on your way. The travel from the Orcs camp is a little bit kind of, I suppose, surreal, as it were. You never really expected to make friends the way you did. But now that you have, you can't imagine your journey not having met them. You find yourselves at the checkpoint. Your wagon still in tow, filled and laden with much needed supplies. As you arrive, you can see a number of the town guards waiting for you.
All right. We're
Hello
here.
there. Friends.
Oh, it's just loading up.
Oh, that was a good rest, you guys. Frederick, Louis, Mallory, you all feeling good?
Not
I am
particularly.
feeling quite rested. Thank you.
All right. As you approach the gates, you hear the sounds of the guards. Who goes there? State your business.
Just us.
Carry,
here,
carry.
Supply train. There's a large cheer that comes out from the people as they see you triumphantly emerging. As you do so, Frederick and Louis, you guys are on the front. How are you approaching the gates?
Nice and easy. The horses go forward. And we are in the cart, and we do not rush. Right,
Very well.
Frederick? What do you think about this approach?
A direct approach seems suitable.
These
All right.
people scare me.
Humans
they
are
look-
scary. They're like in the middle.
As they look down, they see you, and there is a sign of relief. They signal the gate to be opened, and as it does, Zelly, you can see that there is a large bump in the back of the wagon. There's a cloth that seems to be concealing something that isn't food. As you peer in, you're greeted by a somewhat shy and nervous face, that of a gorilla.
Oh,
You've been asked
no.
by the chieftain to get him home.
All right, don't worry, little guy. We're gonna get you back in your natural habitat, okay? You're gonna find a nice lady friend, and you're gonna have a family, and and there's gonna be more of you, and then I get to play with your babies, and I just go on like that.
All right. While she's quietly talking to herself, the rest of you are making your way into this particular area. And as we come to the close of our adventure, there's one final thing we have left. As you rest and recuperate in the watching tower, Frederick, you find a quiet moment to yourself. You sit in your small little bed that's been made for you. You hold in your hand the vial. Not entirely sure if you got the right quill after all this time, or knowing Mallory, she's definitely put her best work in your hands. But the decision is ultimately yours.
Well, bottoms up.
Can
And
I
we'll chug
say
it.
something before you do that, Frederick? Now, if there would have been time last night, I feel like Mallory would have tried to get in contact with you. She has worked incredibly hard on this potion, but she ultimately wants you to make the choice on whether or not you want to turn back into a real boy, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay, 100% does.
Gotcha. Yeah, she's just making sure. It's up to you in the end. And she gave you this moment of time to make that choice on your own.
His big concern is just, hopefully it is a proper potion that will actually work. Because he doesn't want to have to go up against another manticore. And try to find another one in heat. So he will chug it.
You place the vial to your lips, and you cock it back up. As it slides down your throat, you feel an energy washing over your body. You are illuminated in a golden light, and your body begins to glow. It rises off the ground, and for a moment, you and all of your clothes have a golden sheen. Your arms elongate, as does your neck, and does your legs, till you are a medium-sized creature. Then you shrink back down as your body starts to fit its form, the true form of Frederick. As it does so, you look, and the gold disappears, and before you is your frog body. A perfectly green, smooth skin. Your eyes just where they used to be. The perfect colors. You feel your neck, the soft parts of your underskin. You are normal. You are back to being who you are. Frederick, the Gripply.
Mallory, it worked! The potion worked! He rushes over and wakes you up. Mallory, look! I'm back to normal! He looks almost exactly the same.
She holds a dagger as you wake her up, but then realizes it's you.
Oh,
It worked! I'm back to my old self! I'm no longer a grung. I'm once again a Gripply.
it's about time.
Mallory Mallory has this kind of slight confused look as to why turning from one frog into another frog was somehow this huge thing.
She's like shedding a few tears, smiling.
Literally like tears, Louis, you hear the commotion, as does Zelly. You burst into the room as well and can see Frederick, who looks like a frog, but a slightly different frog.
Oh my god! Frederick! Oh, and he will start crying. You're back to normal, Frederick! Oh my god!
Yes, I know. I was so tired of being a grung.
I was tired of you being a grunt too. I mean, you smelled awful. Oh.
Frederick will take Mallory's hands. He's no longer worried about the poison, and he will just hold them close. Thank you, Mallory, for everything. I would not have been able to return to my true self without your help.
All right, this isn't the worst it could have been.
She smiles and hugs back.
And with this heartwarming scene, as Frederick the Grung is now Frederick the Gripply, able to once again feel the embrace of a hug without poisoning his friends, we conclude today's adventure, Khaos in the Kraglands. Thank you so much to our wonderful audience for coming and joining us, and a very special thank you to my amazingly awesome class. This was a truly incredible experience. Of course, a very special thank you to none other than Jonathan, our tech, who is behind the scenes, making sure that we look amazing, that we are amazing. Definitely couldn't be here and do stuff without your amazing work. All right, so as we conclude, let's of course go around and tell everyone where you can find us out and about and on the interwebs, starting of course with none other than Dipper Dog, who played Zelly today.
Yo! So, just out of celebration, I know we're ending the story, but I like to think that Zelly conjured animals as her final spell to be like, you can touch animals now!
You are swarmed by puppies!
Time to pet all the puppies.
Wow.
Pet all the puppies!
Yeah, I realized Frederick can finally touch things. That's so heartwarming.
Oh,
That's so beautiful.
At least other people.
Tears of joy. But yeah, okay, so I played Zelly, the Druid Gnome. I am a member of the Mercs of Mischief, and I usually stream on Sunday games as guys in the wild. I forgot her name. Who am I? Oh my god, why can't I remember my character's name?
Your name is Lilith.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
1 week not playing her, I forgot everything. Oh god. So yeah, Tiefling Bard Lilith, and I also have my own personal channel. It's called, of course, Dipper Dog 15 on Twitch, and I will play games on there, and sometimes we'll have little like talk shows and stuff. So yeah, pretty chill. But again, thank you guys for joining.
Fantastic. All right, next up is, of course, none other than the highest of high elves herself, Mallory, played by the ever-talented Lane Simple. Tell us where we can find you and your amazing stuff.
YouTube.com/BlaneSimple. I'm almost positive that's the link. doing a bunch of D&D content animations on the side, and up until now, I've constantly been making references about bringing lowly high elf wizards into campaigns. Here's the first one that actually do it in.
Yay! And I think she was amazing. I really did. I loved Mallory. Next
Thank
up, of
you.
course, playing the swashbuckling Daredevil, which oddly enough, I feel like there was the Daredevil part, but I don't think you swashed a single buckle today. Zedrin, tell us where we can find you.
Over on YouTube, you can find me at youtube.com/zombiezephyr, or just look up Zedrin. I chose that original URL like back when YouTube first launched, which was like a long time ago. But you might have seen some of my animations and stuff. I did things like Hero the Dens. I also sometimes do D&D based animations and stories like that. But you can also find me on Twitter at ZedrinBot, and also go read my webcomic, pv02comic.com. I do a webcomic as well.
All right, and playing the role of Louis the Muscle Gnome, Aiden, tell us where we can find your amazing stuff.
Hey guys, I'm Aiden, and I do YouTube videos. I do D&D animations and stories, and also funny videos in general. I usually do short D&D comedy sketch videos. So if you're interested in knowing how that goes around, just go check that out. Also, you can find me on Twitter at BirdCyclops. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for having me.
Fantastic. And of course, I am Michael, the DeadAussieGamer. You can find me at DeadAussieGamer literally everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. I also do streams on other people's channels because I am a performer and entertainer. So you can find me here on the Mercs of Mischief running Avalon Society. You can find me on How to Be a Great GM on a bunch of different shows. Wizards of Kambari, The Adventures of the Windswift seasons 1 through 3, you know, etc., etc., etc. And you can also find me on the D&D official channel playing as Jaggerjaw in Ghost of Saltmarsh and as Yormund Gale in the Descent into Avernus games run by the How to Be a Great Game Master guy. In addition, if you would like to play with me, because of course you enjoyed the session, there is a website you can go to called startplaying.games. You may have seen the ad during the in-between break. I am hosting a Pathfinder First Edition game there where 4 lucky people can come and join and play. It is $30 a session, but it's a lot of fun, and you guys definitely get to have an experience with me on that. I think that's pretty much. Oh, and of course, DeadAussieGamer has just launched on my Twitch channel Minion Quest Season 2, which of course takes place in the world of Alestria that this campaign went through. So yeah, be sure to come and check that out as well.
Did you mention Avalon Society? Did I miss that?
I think I mentioned Avalon Society. Oh, well, Avalon Society is something I run here with the Mercs of Mischief with a whole bunch of very talented players playing Through the Breach, a early 1900s steampunk magic punk game that is a card-based RPG. We run, geez, what is it your time?
7 p.m. Central in the United States.
There we go, 7 p.m. Central Time in the US. So yeah, if you get the chance to, definitely come and check that one out as well. And
of
course,
no,
we can't...
I'm sorry. I'm mixing up all of my games. No, that's like 3 a.m. Central in the United
3 a.m.
States.
Central. That sounds a bit better. I was like wondering. Okay, yeah. If he says this is all right. So yes, 3 a.m. So if you're a midnight owl, if you're a midnight owl, definitely come and check that one out. Last but not least, of course, we need to give special thanks to, of course, the Mercs of Mischief for hosting us and this amazing show and putting it all together. They have a whole bunch of amazing shows, such as the Avalon Knights Academy and the Too Many Warlocks Show, which are both absolutely amazing and are live here on Twitch and available for viewing afterwards as vodcasts on Twitch and on the YouTube channel as well. So be sure to go follow, like, subscribe, do all those things because it makes us know that you love the shows and want to see more. And of course, last but absolutely not least, a very special thank you to Hero Forge for sponsoring our content and, of course, creating such a wonderful and amazing product that we can show you guys and get to enjoy as well. So, yes, big shout out, big thank you. Go send our love to Hero Forge. Go play around with it because, seriously, you will lose so much of your day doing that. Have I forgotten anything?
No, but just a few more notes. Thank you to all of those who came and followed us today. If you want to see the other things we do, be sure to check us out on Sundays and Mondays. Those are our regular show times. The Avalon Knights Academy shows are currently on break as the DM has disappeared into the ether. But while he's gone, we're doing many special things. Tomorrow, join us for part 2 of Tales from the Loop. Monday, we'll have a very interesting special game of All Out Bubblegum. If you're not familiar with the system, it's quite shenanigans heavy, and that will feature an appearance from your narrator of YouTube fame, great voice actor and all-around fun guy who's going to be doing some role-playing with us. And check back for the rest of the month for new shows coming out all the time. Fun one-shots like this, as well as some two-shot pilots. Stay tuned for the raid as soon as we sign off here, so that we can show some love to some friends and hopefully introduce you to some new people. And I think that's all I've got for you. You covered everything else.
Fantastic. And of course, we can't, speaking of raids, we can't, of course, exclude a big shout out and a big thanks to none other than the Joe Worm himself, Joe Cat. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for coming and checking us out. If you are, of course, a fan of Joe Cat, I am as well. Definitely tell him, hey, this DeadAussieGamer guy, not bad. Hey, let's have a game with him, shall we? You know, just saying, putting it out there. All right, now sit back, relax, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will go and raid. Who are we raiding?
I don't know. Let's see who's playing right now. I'm not sure. We'll sort it out, but we'll get some more tabletop RPGs going for you here.
Right
I think our friend Mendari is playing Party Foul. Great game. We'll join them.
Very well. Okay, so enjoy Party Foul as you get into the chat, of course. Do we have like a Mercs call out? Is that a...
Hey, you're driving the truck here.
I'm driving the train? All right, in which case we're going to do this Aussie style and give him the good old-fashioned Aussie when you jump into chat. Even if you're not, throw it out there anyway. And guys, from us here at Mercs of Mischief, and of course, my wonderful players, as always, game hard or die trying. Bye, everyone!
Tower this paladin in hell. Balthor stood upon his tower atop a mountain tall. Sir Edwin's sword shone silver and bright, celestial power to call. He spurred his steed and plunged his blade deep in the tower's base. The mortal of Hellstone sundered, so the tower collapsed into waste.